We are coming to you live from Durfee High School's Mac Aldridge Field for Thanksgiving Day football as one of the nation's oldest rivalries is renewed for the 124th time. Hello, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for tuning in to this Fred TV Sports broadcast on Channel 9. Evan Massu, joined this year by Desmond Sanders, class of 2015 graduate. Nice to have you with us, Desmond.
It's nice to be here. No way better to spend Thanksgiving than at a high school football game.
You got it. And, we were in New Bedford last year. This year, we're back home, and it's great to be here at Durfee High School. Well, this year's game will begin on a bit of a somber note as the Durfee community pays tribute and comes together for Janelle Eaton, or Nellie, as she was affectionately known. This courageous young lady lost her battle with cancer on Saturday. And normally this week leading up to the big game is Spirit Week here at the high school. But after the news of Nellie's passing, the Hilltoppers rallied around each other during this very emotional time and decided to put Spirit Week on hold in order to remember their beloved classmate. Her infectious smile touched the hearts of thousands, not just here at Durfee, but across the greater Fall River area. Nellie was a Hilltoppers cheerleader, and throughout her sickness, everyone cheered and supported her. The Durfee halls were flooded with photos of Nellie and the phrases, "Nellie strong" and "Pray for Nellie." Well, not only does Durfee continue to pray for Nellie, today the Hilltoppers play for Nellie. And this morning, the Hilltoppers fan base will enter as one, surround the track to welcome the football team. It should be a very nice opening ceremony, and we will have that very shortly for you. Now, that said, the team will be making their grand entrance very soon, and so we're going to get you ready for the big game. During preseason practice, Durfee, I had a chance to speak with the head coach, Taylor Brown, and he said that this is a young team, a lot of outgoing seniors from a year ago, and so it's going to be a bit of a learning curve. They're going to have a whole new playbook this year as well. So it would take a little while for all the pieces to come together. That's what happens when you have a young team. We spoke with Taylor Brown in the days leading up to the big game. Here's Coach.
We were a much better 1-4 team than everybody perceived us to be. And I kept on telling the kids that, and the big thing is that we do have talent, we do have the players that can make plays and win, and we want to be winners. And the kids started believing that. And I think the turning point for us was the Brockton game, where we put up 27 points. We were in the game at halftime, 14-7, and we competed toe-to-toe with one of the best teams in the state. And I think that gave the kids confidence going into the rest of the year.
And Desmond, I think that's true. You played last year, the last 4 years really, right? So graduated last year, and this is a pure example of why you just can't get caught up in one game. You have to play the whole season because things can change in an instant.
Not at all. We were 0-29 coming into my senior year, so we were definitely on a mission. And, we started off great. We got 2 wins off the back and then started going downhill, picked ourselves back up, and then after that, we lost 3 straight coming into New Bedford, and we put up a fight into overtime.
And last year, the team was plagued by a lot of injuries. This year, fairly healthy, so that's a good thing as well.
Right. This team, playing with them, it's great. Eli Brooks, as we all know, is having a fantastic year. Jaron Vieira, fantastic year. They have some newcomers like Nick Salmon. He's doing incredible for his first year playing at Durfee.
He is for sure. So while Durfee does come in, though, with the same record of a year ago, 4-6, they're hot over their last 4 games, winning 3, including their first road win last time out in Taunton, and they're putting up 30-plus points a game. I can't remember the last time that happened, so it's a good sign. Durfee's won 3 games here at home. Now, on the other side, the New Bedford Whalers come in with a chance to have 7 victories on the season. They're guaranteed to finish above 500, which is a big accomplishment for them as well. 2015 grad Chandler DeBrasi was the quarterback a year ago. He set the single-season touchdown passing record for the team. They're without him this year. So a lot of new guys are coming in, and I spoke with Coach Mark DeBrito about that because you have to be successful and you have to work as a team.
Obviously tough to replace guys like that, but I think the guys that stepped in have done a pretty good job, and Andrew and Manny and Jordan Ross and Carlos. So there's been guys that have stepped right in this year and have done a really good job of taking over from what those guys did last year. these kids to go out there, and I think on both sides, myself and I know Coach Brown, we want to motivate these guys and just try to get them as ready and prepared as we possibly could. And I know once they get on the field, no matter what's happened in each of our seasons, we know that this game is Thanksgiving. It's in the morning, and the turkey tastes better if you win.
Well, unfortunately for this group of Hilltoppers, because Durfee has not won in the last 8 years, they don't know how good turkey can taste after a win. But all kidding aside, Coach DeBrito is right. Everything goes out the window on Thanksgiving. You could come into this game 0-10, and if you win, it's a successful season.
Right. I mean, last year we came out here and we have nothing to lose, you know. It's not like you're playing for money, trophies, you're not in the NFL or anything. You're playing to have fun. So, I mean, this is your last hurrah, especially for the seniors out there.
That's for sure. Now, as it has become a tradition, at least for as long as I've been doing these games, it's always fun to get predictions. And so when I spoke with the athletic directors in the days leading up to this game as well, Victor Pereira from Durfee and Tom Tarpey from New Bedford both offered their predictions and score predictions, I should say. Tom from New Bedford says 41-20, the Whalers will win it. And Vic here at Durfee says 28-21, the Hilltoppers will win it and snap the streak. We'll hear from both ADs later during halftime as well, so you want to stay tuned. Don't change that channel when the first half comes to a close. Now, as for my prediction this season, based on how the Hilltoppers are finishing strong, they have all the pieces together, I'm going with the Hilltoppers 28-24. I wonder what your thoughts are.
I'm going a little bit bigger than that. I'm going to go Toppers 35, New Bedford 21.
We'll see how it all pans out. There's no money on the table here. It's just for fun. So at this time, the bands are coming onto the field, and we're going to be getting ready for the opening ceremony as the fans will come out and surround the track and wait for the football team to make their grand entrance. But before we do, we have this awesome new promo to show you that we produced here at Fred TV. We're very proud of it. It is a promo for the Durfee Hilltopper Athletic Foundation's annual fundraiser. It aired there last Friday night, and we will have that for you now. The Durfee Hilltopper Athletic Foundation was founded in 2010 with one thing in mind: to help showcase the multitude of talented student athletes that Durfee High School has to offer.
It gives us a great opportunity for our student athletes to compete at a higher level if we have the top-notch equipment that we're lucky that the foundation has bought for us. So it just puts our student athletes in a better position to compete at a higher level.
Durfee on 3, family on 6. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6.
Thanks to the over $50,000 the foundation has raised, Durfee has been able to purchase new equipment, such as pitching machines for softball, a shooting machine for boys and girls hoops, lanes for the swimming pool, and soccer nets that one Hilltopper says are worlds better than the equipment the team had used previously.
We have to transport nets from the JV field over here to the varsity field, and with the nets that we have now, they didn't have wheels, so we weren't able to transport them as easily as we are now. We'd have to lift them over the fence, but now we can just roll them, and it makes everything a lot easier. Even the gym class is a lot easier too.
When a group comes together and rallies around a cause, great things happen. Proof of this is the success that many of the Hilltoppers athletic teams have had since the foundation was established. Talented student athletes, dedicated coaches, good sportsmanship, and community involvement continue to set the bar higher and higher each season. Durfee's athletic programs are at the top of the hill.
On behalf of the Durfee girls softball team,
The Durfee boys soccer team, the boys and girls basketball program,
the swim team,
The Durfee football team.
The baseball team would like to thank the Durfee Hilltopper Athletic Foundation for the pitching machine,
the shooting machine,
new softball equipment for our team.
for all the support and help throughout the years.
The new equipment they have provided us with.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you very much to the Durfee Hilltopper Athletic Foundation.
And as you just saw there at the end of that as well, we should mention that the filming for that promo was done by our Fred TV students, Annalisa Pyers, Allison Kupiak, and Ian Lubet. And so we're very proud of them. They did a great job with the shooting, and then I had a chance to work on the post-production side of it with our editor, Phil Sabatino. So very happy with how that came out, and I know that Carol Fiola, the president of the Athletic Foundation, was very happy with it as well. So gives you a little inside look as to what the foundation does and how it gives back to Durfee and the athletic teams. We are just about ready to get the opening ceremony underway. You see both bands are on the field as well, and that's a great tradition that we have here at Durfee as well. Whenever New Bedford comes to Mac Aldridge Field, the two bands play together as one. That's a nice tradition. That's what Thanksgiving's about. It's tradition.
Right, you know, it takes a little bit of tension off the game because you know, each team wants to go out there and rip each other apart, but it's nice to see the bands come together and play.
Rip each other. That's not what you did last year, right? You don't want to rip people apart. No. It's, you know, like we said, it really comes down to today. Everybody looks forward to this game. They look to see where Thanksgiving is on the calendar. How late do we have to wait in November this year? It's fairly late. But, you know, both teams playing very well at this time. We mentioned Durfee, 3-1 over their last 4. New Bedford's come in winning 3 straight. So both teams peaking at the right time.
Right, I mean, every Thanksgiving's normally something to watch, but this year, something special is going to happen for Durfee.
Something special is going to happen. Well, we will wait and see. Kickoff is just moments away, and we should mention that, you know, Jaron Vieira, quarterback this year, he started as a sophomore. Jaron never had any professional, I guess you'd say, or organized football experience prior to 3 years ago, and he's a starting quarterback. He's had a fantastic season.
Right, I mean, when he first came in, I believe Coach Jones had him at line, he had him at wide receiver, but he didn't have the speed. And next thing you know, they had him throw a couple footballs, and they're just starting QB.
Well, having baseball experience, he had a strong arm. He was an infielder, plays third base, and that's kind of why they figured quarterback might be good for him, and he's really found his niche. The best thing is that he's big, so he might not be the fastest guy, but he can also take it himself. So watch for Vieira to run the option when he doesn't see a receiver down the field. But, of course, that's if Eli Brooks doesn't get the ball. Eli Brooks is 217 yards shy of 2,000. That's the kind of season he's had with 19 touchdowns, which is just incredible.
I mean, he's going to get 2,000. I have a strong belief today that he will get it. He'll pass it probably by 20 yards today.
Well, he had 270 yards against Taunton in Week 10, which was the last game before Thanksgiving. So Eli Brooks can get it done. We'll see how New Bedford can contain him today. New Bedford has taken the field. You just saw that on your screen. The Hilltoppers are going to be making their way out of the locker room. Fans are lined up on the right side of the field as well, waiting to welcome the team. What's Coach Brown telling the guys right now? I know you were in the locker room last year, and obviously there's a message that the coach is going to be conveying. So what do you think he's telling the guys right now?
I mean, all the guys in there know there's a big hype for this game. We haven't had a win in a while, so he's going to tell them the same thing he told us. Play it as if it's any other game without the season.
You mentioned whole new playbook for Durfee this year, and that is a big deal. I mean, there's so many plays, so many rules in football. It's one of the most complicated games. And then you're adding a whole new playbook. So even for the guys coming in from last year, they're learning everything new again. How difficult would that be if you were coming into that situation?
Oh, extremely difficult. That's why they have to start nice and early in the summer and throughout just read your playbook every day. You have to learn the plays. I mean, I went to the last game against Taunton, and it seemed like they got that playbook down.
Well, we will see what happens today. We cannot wait for this game to get underway. Again, the Hilltoppers still waiting to come out from the locker room, so we're standing by for them. But, you know, we want to look at New Bedford as well. Andrew Rapoza has done a nice job filling in for Chandler DeBrasi, who graduated last year. We mentioned he broke the passing touchdown record last year. Rapoza has 10 touchdown passes, and so he's done very well as the quarterback this year as well. So I think you can expect New Bedford to put up good numbers offensively as well.
I mean, Raposo, that kid is just a pure athlete. I mean, he plays baseball. I mean, he plays every position in baseball, so why not put him in every position in football, too? I mean, he can run the ball, throw the ball. That's someone they're going to have to look out for.
That's for sure. And then we also have Victor Carrion Jr. He has 2 touchdowns on the ground. Jordan Ross, 6 touchdowns as a wide receiver. Manny Anua, 7 touchdowns on the ground. So this team they're very balanced, the Whalers are, on passing and running the ball. And we've seen that in years past as well. They continue to be very balanced.
I mean, when I hear the name Manny Anua, I always picture this picture they put in the paper of him leaping over a Brockton boxer. So, I mean, that's someone they also have to look out for.
That's for sure. And, you know, I spoke with, like I said, we spoke with both coaches last week in the days leading up to today's game, and both of them agreed with my assessment that these two teams are going to put up the points this year. It's going to come down to which defenses can make the stops and who's going to take advantage of a miscue. Truthfully, I think Durfee's going to play from behind today, but I think a key miscue in the fourth quarter is what's going to get them the ball back for them to score a game winner. That's how I'm going to see this game. I don't think Durfee's going to play with a big lead throughout the game because New Bedford is very strong as well.
I mean, I think the total opposite. I don't think New Bedford has Eli Brooks' number today. I feel Eli is just going to run up and down the field, waste that clock, and their offense is going to stay off the field and off to the sideline.
All right, well, again, you know, we can't write the script. It's always fun to try. But, you know, that's the beauty of live sports. You just never know what you're going to get with these games. We'll say that New Bedford is allowing less points per game. And so the defense has been a little stronger. But some of Durfee's numbers could be inflated a little bit thanks to that 3-game losing streak that they had when they faced, or the 3 games that they played. It was just really a rough sequence. They had Dartmouth. They also had played Brockton. They gave up a lot of points in those. So it's really one of those situations where couple bad games can inflate your numbers, and you know that. You know, it's just like a slump in baseball. You know, you go 0 for 15 at the plate, and all of a sudden your average drops 50 points. So it's Durfee's numbers, I think, are a little inflated from where they are. They've probably given up a few less points than what the average is.
Right, and then also if you look at the QB, Jaron Vieira, if you look at his numbers in that span where they lost those 3 games, you can see how his completions went down, his interceptions skyrocketed. You know, so, I mean, you're right.
You know, Dartmouth is the reigning Southeast Division III champs. They won the Super Bowl at Gillette. So facing the Indians is always a tough task. Of course, Dartmouth's athletic director, a former Hilltopper, Jeff Caron. And the Indians are actually headed back to the Super Bowl to defend their title at Gillette. And that's after they play Thanksgiving today. So they're continuing to go well, and that's why Hilltoppers struggle against them. They're one of the best teams around.
I mean, playing them last year, they were fast and physical. I mean, that's the main things you need when you're playing football. And this year, they just brought it all back.
Well, other Fall River games going on today. Diamond and Bishop Conley are both traveling. So when Durfee's home, those 2 schools travel. When Durfee's away, they get to host. And so Diamond's rival is Greater New Bedford Voc, and Bishop Conley's rival, St. John Paul II High School. And Conley, really the story among the Mayflower League teams. They started 7-0, and they hosted a playoff game for the first time. They played under lights that were brought in, construction lights. It was really quite the scene. They did lose that game, but they've won their last 2. They are 9-1, and they have a chance to win their 10th game today. And they beat St. John Paul II Lions last year. So Conley, with first-year head coach Anthony Nalen, has really turned the table. This has been a fantastic team to watch this year.
And I know Bishop Conley from last year, they had a lot of returners this year, so they have a lot of seniors. I know they have QB Kevin Sullivan, who's an amazing athlete, and they also have Trey Morris, who's an amazing athlete.
Cougars will miss Kevin Sullivan next year, that's for sure, once he graduates. You see the Hilltoppers are getting ready to take the field. We're going to turn it over to public address announcer Cliff Ponte.
This morning we ask that you please rise as we observe a moment of silence, as on Saturday the Durfee community lost one of our own. On Saturday, 17-year-old Nellie Eaton lost her courageous battle with cancer. Nellie was a Durfee student, a former cheerleader, and a friend to many. At this time, we ask that you please join us in a moment of silence as we remember Nellie this morning. Thank you. Your Durfee Hilltoppers.
There are the Hilltoppers entering as one. Kudos to our sideline cameraman, Phil Sabatino, getting the money shot right there. He always gets run into as well. The Toppers have one thing on their mind, that's football, not the cameraman. But Phil on the sidelines this afternoon. We have two of our Fred TV students with him as well for support. We also have two other Fred TV students, Brandon Arrayes and Brooke Tebbs. You've heard their names mentioned throughout the season as well. They're running our cameras from the stands and the roof of the press box as well. So they'll be getting the footage this afternoon, but a nice opening ceremony there. Hilltoppers are ready to go. And now we're going to turn it over to the bands as the Hilltoppers and Whalers bands will play as one.
Direct your attention to the fields as the Durfee High School Marching Band, joined this morning by the New Bedford Whaler Marching Band, will play your national anthem.
Helmets heading back on the heads. Marching bands will march themselves off the field, and we will get ready for kickoff with the meeting at midfield for the coin toss, decide who will get the ball and who will not. What's your take on that, Desmond? Because there's, you know, both sides of it is, oh, well, won the toss, let's take the ball and score first. But then there's also, let's go on defense and stop them so that we take a possession away right off the bat and defer. So, what do you feel? What are your feelings on that?
Well, with the type of team that Durfee is, I wouldn't be surprised to see if they win the toss to take the ball this half.
So you're thinking that Coach Brown wants them to score first and go right at it.
Right. I mean, they're just a powerful team this year with Eli. So, I mean, I wouldn't see why they wouldn't want to mark downfield, take some time off that clock, and score.
You see New Bedford is holding the yellow ribbon for childhood cancer, a very nice gesture given the state of the Durfee community here this afternoon. You see there's yellow all over the field as well as purple. Those were Nellie's colors, flooding the field with yellow, purple along with the red and black of Durfee. You have a ribbon on. I have the yellow tie on. And you can see how this community has really come together and rallied as one. And a great fan base this afternoon, or this morning, really. It's not afternoon yet. Great fan base this morning, as we'd expect. Both sides filling the stands and the surrounding fence. We'll run down the captains for both sides here. Desmond, why don't you take New Bedford?
The captains for New Bedford are number 15, Andrew Raposo, number 28, Victor Carrion.
And for the Hilltoppers, there are 4 captains. Quarterback Jaron Vieira, number 15. Jay Souza, number 23. Eli Brooks, number 25. And Kyle LePage, number 50. We expect the fans to be pretty rowdy this morning into this afternoon. They're usually very involved in the games. The fans have been very good this year, and I would expect nothing less from the Durfee students this morning.
I mean, that's something the players like to feed on, is the energy from this crowd. This is the biggest crowd they will ever have all season. So it's great to see them feed off their energy. It's going to be such a great game today. I can just feel it. Love it.
And given the big crowd, a little teaser for halftime. I mentioned we'll hear from both athletic directors, and that is something I asked Victor Pereira about, is you having the biggest crowd of the season here this morning on a busy day. You have short time to prepare because it's a morning game, so we'll get his thoughts on that at halftime, so you're going to want to stick around for that. The coin is in the air. The officials speaking with Jaron Vieira, the quarterback for for Hilltoppers. New Bedford won the toss. They will receive, so that means Durfee will have to wait till the second half to get the ball. So both teams will huddle up one last time before they get set to play. Game officials this afternoon, or this morning, are referee Charles Ashley, umpire Norman England, linesman Austin Brow, field judge Jason Aruda, back judge is Neil Carteret, and the clock is run by Ray Dwyer. I will say that being an official is a very unforgiving job. I certainly would not want to wear the pinstripes out on the field. I like my view from the booth, but I have to say the officials have actually been really good this year for the most part. And, you know, it's tough because they're going on the fly. There's no replay here in high school. So what you see on the field, it's the call on the field, and that's just the way it is.
Oh, definitely. As an official, you can't please everybody, so you always got to break some hearts.
Here at Durfee, we play 11-minute quarters, so it's 44 minutes of football. Whalers going for their 7th win. The Hilltoppers going for number 5. They have not won 5 games in 10 years. The last time they had a 5-win season, it was 2005. And then we all know that in the early 2010 area, 2011, there was the winless streak, that losing streak. And as you said, that stopped last year with a 2-0 start. This year, a slower start, a better finish. And that's, I think, because of the health of the team. All the pieces have really come together for Durfee. And this team would love nothing better than to send the fans home happy with a W in front of their home crowd that they've been successful in front of this year. And Jaron does it all, by the way. He's the quarterback. He's also the kicker. Little squib kick. Wow. Interesting start. That tells me that Taylor Brown, the head coach for Durfee, may be concerned with New Bedford's return men down in the back of the field.
Well, I mean, in the last game against Taunton, they did it, I believe, 3 times and got all 3 of them. So why not come out this game and do it?
Why not? Give it a shot. This time it doesn't pan out, though. The Whalers will start almost from midfield at the 48, their own 48-yard line. Rapoza gets the snap, fakes the handoff, he'll pass, and it is blocked, almost picked off on the first play of the game.
That would have been something. I mean, and he had room. He had room to take off for about at least 20 yards. No one was going to catch him for that one.
Yes, that far sideline there, the New Bedford sideline, was wide open if that had been picked off. There's a replay on that.
So close.
So close. So 2nd and 10 from the 48. Watch out for Eli Conde, wide receiver on the near side, right at the bottom of your screen. They'll hand it off. Stopped at the line. The Durfee D makes a stop on 2nd down. 3rd and 10 coming up. This would be a big 3-and-out if the Hilltoppers can stop New Bedford here.
As you see it on that play, freshman number 77, Hunter Salmon, just goes in there and causes a bunch of ruckus.
So it ends up being a 3rd and 9 from the 49. And like we mentioned in the open, the Whalers not afraid to pass, not afraid to run. They're very balanced. So I'm going to expect that Rapoza is going to go to the air here on 3rd and long. And he drops back to pass. Going to the near side. That's going to be long. No flags. A 3-and-out for the Hilltoppers. They'll take over.
No better way to start a game than a 3-and-out right there. That's going to bring all the momentum to Durfee's side.
You see the coaches are fired up on the sidelines. They know how big of a stop this is. Not a place to go for it on 4th down. Not this early in the game. So we'll have number 5, Nick Salmon, and number 14, CJ Roque, back deep for the Hilltoppers. They're at their own 20, ready to receive the punt. A slight breeze coming in from the south. We begin this game with partly cloudy skies, 54 degrees on Thanksgiving, a total 180 from last year. It was frigid in New Bedford last year. That one goes out of play at the 10, so Durfee will have a long field.
Punts like that, you kind of hope they take another bounce or two to get in that end zone, but good punt from New Bedford.
That was a good punt. They're punting with the wind. The wind is coming in, like I said, coming in from the south in a northwest direction, and that's actually exactly where the ball went. So we'll see if the wind is a factor today, particularly for extra point kicks or field goal attempts. Ball is spotted at the 11, just inside the 10. So at the 11, Durfee takes over 1st and 10. Very tight formation, almost like a goal line stand there. A special teams style formation as Eli Brooks gets the first handoff and will pick up about 5 yards.
That just goes back to my prediction. Eli Brooks is just a powerhouse out there. That's why they have nice, tight formations. It's going to run it right up the middle.
So they give him 5 yards on the carry, so we're going to continue deducting yards from his total, kind of like what we did with Brianna Kamara's 1,000 points. You did that last year in the girls' basketball game when she grabbed her 1,000th point. We can start knocking off the points as we go, I guess, or the yards here. So 5 down, 212 to go for 2,000. We're chasing 2,000. 2nd and 5. They hand it off to Brooks again. Brooks with cut to the outside, has some room, still on his feet. He goes down across the 30. A power run for Eli Brooks.
New Bedford is going to struggle all day with Eli Brooks. That man just doesn't stop moving his feet. He just keeps on trucking.
And he's not like the tallest guy, but he's big. So he's small, but he's big. And it's so hard to tackle someone who has that much power behind him. He really is a power running back.
And once he gets in the open field, that's it. You're not catching him either.
We should mention Eli transitioned to defense this year as well. So he's also on the defensive side of the ball, and that's something that Coach Brown said really helped actually tighten up the defense. Tough handoff, but Brooks is able to scramble for a gain of about 4 or 5 on 1st down. You see the handoff was a little bit high there, Desmond. You'll see it here on the replay. Vieira had pressure too.
It kind of worked out to their advantage because a lot of them over-pursued because they didn't know, is Jaron going to take off or is he going to actually hand it off?
And that's where the option play works out so well because Vieira's tough to tackle as well. So you're thinking run, they hand it off to Brooks, but then what's going to happen? Is Vieira going to take it? Is he going to pass? That's the beauty of the option play. Oh, there's almost an offsides. Wow. New Bedford almost jumping the line. Vieira's going to keep it. Going to go end around. He's taken down in the backfield for a loss of about 3.
Nice job that time on the
I mean, that right there, that goes to show you what we were just talking about. Vieira, he does have the wheels. He just needs the blocking.
Very close to an offsides right there before the snap.
And as you see that, I mean, center Kyle LePage should have picked that up and snapped the ball, get the free 5 yards.
That was a good tackle by New Bedford. Whalers getting a loss of yards, forcing a loss of yards for the Hilltoppers. Long time in between plays here. The official watching the back judge, keeping an eye on the play clock. Vieira looking to pass. His first pass is swatted down. Incomplete. That was headed, I believe, for Nick Salmon. It was Nick Salmon. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 7. Pass was headed up the middle there, and it was blocked by number 8, Raymond Elizondo. So the Whalers forced 3rd down after the Hilltoppers got the 1st down, and looks like Vieira's going to possibly pass again here. They punt it away. Rolls inside the 20. That was actually 3rd down right there, so I apologize. Thought we were still on 2nd down there. So 6:49 to play, and you see at the top of your screen, both teams trading off possessions here. So 2 punts, defenses making good stops early on.
I mean, it was disappointing to see Durfee punt that away. I mean, Eli, he had the momentum going. They were going downfield, but things like that happen.
Yep, that loss of yards on Vieira's carry, that kind of hurt him. And then the 3rd down pass, nothing could be done. There is a penalty marker on the field at about the 35-yard line of New Bedford. The officials coming over to give us the call here. It's against the Whalers, but we have not seen the official call yet. We're hearing there's an illegal substitution on the Whalers. So actually, we're going to redo the punt, I believe. I think it's a 5-yard penalty, what we're hearing here in the booth. So all kinds of changes now. It's going to end up being a 4th and 2. Do you think Durfee's going to go for it?
I honestly
I'd be scared.
I wouldn't be surprised to see that. I mean, I went to their practice yesterday, and they did a little fake punt run thing. I wouldn't be surprised to see that right now.
Now Vieira is in the backfield, ready to punt. So, oh no, they direct snap it, and it is a 1st down. The Hilltoppers move it across the line to gain, across the 45. A direct snap. They faked the punt. The Whalers were not ready for it.
That's what I was just saying. They were practicing yesterday. I'm glad to see it put to use.
You called it, Desmond. So no flags. Hilltoppers keep possession, 1st and 10 from their own 46.
See, as you see, I believe that's number 5, Nick Salmon. He gets the direct snap, and he just powers through. They had great blocking on that. Loved it.
Loved it. That is an understatement. That's a great way to fake out the offense here. You fake the punt, or fake the defense rather, fake the punt, and then you get it to somebody that they're not expecting. And so it works very well for the Hilltoppers. They keep the ball. Back to Brooks it goes. Brooks up the middle. Brooks has some room. Going down the field, still on his feet. Taken down to the 20.
He is unbelievable.
I know, every game, Desmond, that we've covered, I watched, I say, he's not going to have a game like last week. No, he had a better game than last week. Power run for Brooks.
Look at this, right up the middle. Barely even touched. And as he gets into the open field, like I said, he has that getaway speed, cuts back.
Oh, what a move there.
Breaks a tackle.
Carlos Ribeiro could do nothing with him. So taken down at the 19. And there's a little toss. Vieira tossed it out to, I believe that was Jay Souza. It was, number 23. But Brooks took it from the 44 all the way down to the 29, a 35-yard gain on that run.
I mean, it's crazy to say, but I'm just not surprised anymore. I mean,
so it'll be 2nd and 10. Souza got back to the line of scrimmage. There was pressure there from the pass rushers. Vieira had to get rid of it quickly, and New Bedford snuffed out the run there. So it'll be 2nd. Actually, they gave him a yard. So 2nd and 9 from about the 19. Another handoff, Brooks falls forward for a gain of another. That's another big thing that Brooks does very well. That not a lot of running backs, and we're talking even into the pros, not a lot of running backs do this. They get stood up. If you get stood up, you're not going anywhere. You put your shoulder down, you're going to fall forward every time, and that gets you those extra yards. And on a 4th and 2, it can be critical.
right, and that's something that Eli does. He just keeps moving his feet. As you see, his feet never stop. He hits that pile, his feet are still going until he's on the ground.
It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd and 5 from about the 15. Lined up at the 14. Ball spotted at the 14. 3rd and 5. This is definitely 4-down territory unless they get backed up. Vieira kept it that time. Went with the option. Might have picked up a yard. And again, I have to think they'll go for it on 4th down. With the wind blowing at them, I don't think they'll go for the field goal here.
Yeah, as you see on that play, New Bedford just blew that up. There was absolutely no blocking. That's something you don't want to see when you're deep in the red zone.
So the Whalers tightening things up just a bit. We're going to have a 4th and 5 from the 14. Offense staying out on the field. No field goal attempts here. Inside the red zone, Hilltoppers looking for points here in the first quarter. Look at a pass, going to the end zone. It's high, and it's out of reach. Incomplete. Sakai Howard could not come down with it. Vieira threw it a little bit high. Maybe the wind got under it a little bit as well. Hilltoppers come up empty with their first trip to the red zone. Whalers will take over.
I mean, that was a tough one right there. I mean, tough play call on that one. If you see here, if he would have threw that ball any lower, it probably would have been intercepted. I mean, tough throw to make also on the run.
Vieira does have good mobility, able to leave the pocket and throw on the run. We've seen that a lot this season, but that time it didn't pan out. So Toppers go on defense. Whalers back on offense, 1st and 10 from the 14. And Rapoza will take it himself before he's tackled for a gain of about 3 or 4.
And see, like I said before the game, Raposo, he's just an amazing athlete. He'll run the ball or throw it. So you just got to watch for him. As you see here, he just takes off.
He used Jonathan Moraes, a running back, as the blocker, the lead man. He just kind of followed him. Hilltoppers did a nice job of getting the tackle, though. It's a 3-yard pickup, so 2nd and 7 coming up. I like what I'm seeing from both defenses early on. Eli Brooks is doing his thing, but it's really so far been a story of the defenses. Little toss, almost lost. Moraes got the pitch, but he almost lost it. Staying down by contact, the Hilltoppers thought there was a fumble there.
I mean, I would have to look at the replay to see if it actually was a fumble here. I mean, no, he was down
by contact.
Yeah, you could see his knee was down, and then the ball popped out.
It looks like there was a flag on the field as well. And I believe it was on the Whalers. Coach Brown saying, yes, back him up. There he is on your screen. Former Hilltopper, Coach Taylor Brown. His senior year. They also, Durfee did beat New Bedford, so he knows what it's like to win on Thanksgiving, but he also knows what it's like to lose, so, you know, he has that experience as well. It's a 5-yard penalty.
I mean, that's something coming into last year's game that he told us, because we heard from everybody, oh, your head coach won on Thanksgiving. He told us, forget about my team. We're worried about now.
That's right. You can't look in the past. All the stats, like we said, everything goes out the window. Just got to win on Thanksgiving. That's all it comes down to. 2nd and 12. Raposo going to pass. Wide open is Eli Conde. Across the 40. Big pickup.
That was a beautiful pass from Raposo on that one. I mean, nice tight spiral right where it needed to be. As you see, he had all the time in the world here to take this throw, and there he goes, just slings it.
Whalers' offensive line did a nice job there, giving Rapoza a chance to make that pass. So heading towards midfield, the Whalers with a big pickup there. 1st and 10 from the 41. Rapoza rolls out. Now he's going to take it himself. Has a lot of room. He cuts back to the middle. Rapoza is going the distance. He escapes a tackle. Rapoza's in for the touchdown. A 59 yards to the end zone. 6-0 New Bedford.
I mean, I'm going to say that was poor pursuit on the ball. It seems like nobody really wanted to tackle him. He just zigzags through everybody. As you see here, nobody wraps him up. They all try, just knocking him over, but no one breaks down. It looks pitiful.
Yeah, missed there by Asante Montero, number 27. He couldn't get there. And then it was headed to the end zone. So with 90 seconds to play in the first quarter, the Whalers strike first after Durfee was this close. They'll go for the extra point kick. It is Corey Pena Jr. kicking away. Kick is no good, wide to the right. So it'll stay 6-0. Whalers strike first here at Mac Aldridge Field.
And those extra points, I mean, they add up at the end of the game. I mean, that's huge right there. That's 2 field goals for the Toppers, and they do have Jaron Vieira, who does have a boot, so he's able to get that done.
Yes, and to be quite honest with you, I think if they were kicking into the wind and not with the wind, they would have gone for 2. But that time they had the wind in their favor, just went wide to the right. So the Whalers getting ready to kick off to the Hilltoppers. Sakai Howard and number 4, Latrell Cantu, a freshman. They are back deep at about the 10-yard line. And again, it'll be Corey Pena Jr. doing the kicking here from the 40-yard line. We'll see if he goes to the air. Hilltoppers did not. This is a line drive, and it will be picked up by Cantu. Goes in with his head first, just shy of the 30. Good return there, about 20 yards. So Durfee with decent field position.
I mean, that's all you really need right there. I mean, you picked up a good amount of yards, and let's see what they can do with it.
They spot it right at the 30-yard line. So you see you got piled up right there, number 42, Joey Kubik, making a nice stop there. Durfee 1st and 10. And it's Brooks. And he stopped right at the line, maybe picked up a yard. You know, the Hilltoppers have done a nice job trying to establish this running game here early on, and I think just a couple more runs should open up the passing game just a bit.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Toppers come out now and start passing.
Oh, it would certainly give the defense a little something different to look at after the big running plays that Brooks had on the last drive. And that's going to be a false start. Vieira not happy about it. Walking off. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. That was as soon as, I believe it was Jay Souza in motion there that was running across the field.
It looked like it was number 77, Hunter Salmon.
Oh, yep, there you go. On the top of the screen, he missed the hard count. Started his blocking before the ball was snapped. So good eyes there, Desmond. 5-yard penalty, 2nd and 15 now for the Hilltoppers. Brooks trying to cut back, and he cannot. Stop for a loss of yard. That's huge.
This line just has to block. I mean, I don't know what it, ever since this drive here, they haven't been blocking at all.
Well, that also could be New Bedford making some adjustments as well. They've gotten to see Brooks 2 drives, so now making some adjustments, and that's why Coach Brown calling timeout. He's going to end up bringing up a 3rd and long here. Oh, I'm sorry. It's the end of the first quarter. How fast was that? That's why we have timeout on the field. We'll switch sides here. Durfee will be moving from right to left. So your thoughts after that first quarter, Desmond? I'd have to say that, again, I think the defenses are going to be the story, except for that one big play, which is why the Whalers are on top. The big touchdown run for 59 yards by Andrew Rapoza. We'll see it here.
I mean, big plays like this one, I mean, this changes games. It's still early, but I mean, as you see here, it looks like Pat Brown could have made that tackle, but the offensive lineman fixed his mistakes, and Andrew Rapoza just zigzags around the field, throws some stiff arms, and gallops into the end zone.
It was all too easy for Rapoza. One thing that's not going to be easy is this 3rd and 19 for the Hilltoppers. Vieira going to have to pass. He's going to go deep down the field, and it is going to be incomplete. That was intended for Colin Medeiros, number 1.
That was just really good coverage right there by number 11, Jordan Ross.
And that is a defensive player that Coach DeBrito of New Bedford said, keep an eye on him because he makes a lot of big plays. And he did a nice job covering that pass attempt. Durfee will have to punt well back in their own territory. High snap. Vieira has to take it down, but that is a good punt. Oh, a favorable bounce. C.J. Roque gets a foot race to the ball. All the way down towards the 30-yard, or the 20-yard line, rather. So Durfee making something out of nothing there. They got a very favorable bounce.
I mean, that was a beautiful punt by Jaron Vieira. That kid's leg is incredible.
He's very strong foot, big leg, yes. Like you said, good boot when he's kicking. His kickoffs are very good. We saw him make a field goal earlier this year, 36-yarder. And field goals are rare enough in high school football. But one from 30-plus yards is almost unheard of. And he probably could have gone 40 yards, maybe even more. Had a lot of distance on it. Rapoza hands it off, and it's a short gain, maybe about 3 or 4 for the Whalers. Victor Carrion Jr. with the carry there. So it was a captain-to-captain connection there. Hand off and take it up the middle. 3 yards, brings up 2nd and 7.
I mean, this Durfee defensive line is getting pretty good penetration. I mean, the linebackers just have to come up and make these tackles.
Well, this will be a good test for Durfee after their last offensive series did not pan out. They had to punch it away. They will get the ball at the half, but they want to tie up this game before halftime, or better yet, maybe take the lead. Rapoza looking to pass. Tons of time, pocket collapsing, and that's Brooks making the tackle. Number 25, Eli Brooks, able to make the tackle after a short gain. Rapoza had to take it.
Great tackle by Eli Brooks. And, I mean, if you look, I mean, that was just great coverage all around the field. If you see over here, number 27, Asante, he just has great coverage, and Rapoza just has nowhere to go. The pocket's collapsing, so he had nowhere to go but take off.
And that's exactly what we've seen Vieira do as well. for the Hilltoppers is when there's nothing downfield, he takes the option and runs with it. He's able to do that, and you see that a lot across the board in high school football. Officials took a moment there to meet at the line of scrimmage. Whalers break the huddle. They need 3 yards to keep this drive alive. 3rd and 3. They're at the 28-yard line. This is a big stop for Durfee. Pass rushers coming wide open, and it's broken up. Beautiful coverage there. Asante Montero, you mentioned he had great coverage on the last play, and this time he makes it count. They'll have to punch it away.
I mean, even last year as a sophomore, he was out there doing these type of plays. I mean, it's incredible to see how he's developing.
So Montero assists the Hilltoppers with the stop right there on your screen. Nice clean coverage. Whalers will punch it away. I believe that's Sakai Howard back deep for the Toppers. Line drive kick is going to roll. That's CJ Roke, and there's a flag. They pushed him out of the way. Can't do that.
That was actually the freshman, number 4, Latrell Canto.
And that's just, that's just a mistake, and that's why the flag was thrown. I mean, that's just a little, those are the little things that you just can't do. There's no reason to push him out of the way. He wasn't going necessarily for the ball. He knew that the Whalers were going to down it. That's going to be a penalty on the Whalers. That's one of those silly mistakes you just say, why? There's no point in it. Cantu is not going to take it back, that's for sure. Not with 2 guys coming in his wheelhouse, so. Coach DeBrito not happy. He's heading out on the field to talk with the official. Basically a personal foul there. See, the fans are here in droves this morning. It is a beautiful day for football. Doesn't get much better than this. So with this second quarter underway, we thank you for tuning into this live Fred TV Sportscast on Channel 9. Evan Massoud along with Desmond Sanders. 6-0 Whalers, but Durfee hoping to take advantage here after the penalty and take it down the field. They came up short in their first trip to the red zone, and Vieira gets stood up by Trevor Green.
See, I mean, Vieira, he took that hit nicely. Just got right up, right over to coach, get the next play. As you see, he takes off here. It was a good job that he did not pitch that ball because number 11 over here from New Bedford, yet again, Jordan Ross, he had the outside containment and made Vieira go up the middle.
That was a tough tackle there. Green really putting it to Vieira. But again, Vieira, as you said, no worse for wear. He does pick up 2, so we'll call it 2nd and 8. Oh, stop behind the line, and he's free. Eli Brooks trying to make something out of nothing. He gets back to the line. He might have even gained a yard on that. Talk about spinning away from a tackle.
I mean, he's just ridiculous, man. He just turned something out of nothing. I mean, absolutely no blocking.
That is ridiculous.
And as you see,
that shouldn't happen.
The quarterback, Jaron Vieira's out here throwing blocks, but the offensive line isn't blocking too well.
No. They were ready for that. They're ready for Brooks now, so this would be the time to open up the passing game a little bit, get the defense thinking about something else, and then you'll open up another lane for Brooks. 3rd and 7, so they actually give Brooks a yard on that. Can you believe it? Vieira looking to pass. They're going to throw to Brooks. Brooks headed to the outside, and he cannot get free after a gain of 1. It'll bring up a 4th and 6. Whalers with really good coverage to force a 3 and out.
And as you see, Eli was Jaren's only option on that one. Everyone else was covered well.
Yeah, when they sent Eli in motion, I think everybody knew that he was going to be the target. Toppers are going to have to punch it away as Ross and Anua back deep at the 15, ready to return the punt. There's a flag, and play is halted, so this is probably going to be a false start on the offense. It's going to back Durfee up a little more. And offsides would get them to 4th and 1, and you could consider going for it, but now most likely going to get backed up, and it is a false start. So 5 yards, 4th and 11 now. And, you know, maybe it's you never like to get backed up. I mean, it's a good thing that they get a chance to snap the ball again, because that was another high snap to Vieira. He had to leap up and then take it down again. Want to get the snap just a little bit lower, so well, maybe that was even a little too low. Trying to find a happy medium. That's another good punt as Ross takes it, coming to the near side, and he's trying to cut back in. He's still on his feet, taken down at the 45. Nice return for Trevor. I keep saying Trevor Green. Jordan Ross, number 11. And now a flag being thrown. This is where the adrenaline gets the best of you sometimes. And most likely going to see a personal foul here from somebody, if not both sides.
I mean, you always got to control yourself. The other team's going to try to get you to that point. You just can't let them do that. Right there means that they're winning the mental game.
Exactly. This is what we mean by playing within yourselves. It's a good run back. No need for something extra. Make the tackle and go on to the next play. Ball is at the 45, but it looks like, yep, it's on the Hilltoppers. Initially, it looked like it was going to go to New Bedford's side. Now it's going to be on Durfee. 15 yards from the spot, and now the Whalers are in Durfee territory. And that is one of those costly mistakes. We'll see if the Hilltoppers have it come back to bite them. Whalers got away with that penalty last time. They made the stop. See if Durfee can make a stop here. 6:18 to play before the half. It is 6-0 New Bedford, not the offensive showdown that kind of expected. I would have expected a little more, just a few more points on the board by this point. Almost a scoreless first quarter. The Whalers had scored at the very end of it. Still moving the chains on that far side. And the Durfee fans now, we're hearing this rumble of thunder as the fan base is stomping on the bleachers, trying to get the defense pumped up. This is a big spot for the Hilltoppers. Don't want to fall down by 2 scores. Don't want to fall behind.
Not at all. I mean, their offense is being slow.
Rapoza rolls out, going to throw on the run. There's a flag on the field. That's incomplete. There is a flag back in the pocket. Maybe a hold. And they're pointing in the Whalers' direction, so this could be a holding call. Oh, it's a chop block on the Whalers. Below the waist. Legal hit. Illegal hit, I should say. That's a penalty right there. And that's a 15-yard penalty. So there's maybe your poetic justice, if you will. The Whalers are moved back the 15 yards that they gained on Durfee's personal foul. And so they'll replay first down, but it's 1st and 25.
I mean, I just seen on that last play, too, Eli Brooks just exploding off the line.
So back to the 45-yard line, back to Whalers territory goes New Bedford. Rapoza under center, he'll roll back and pressured, coming, tackled, gets the pass off, beautifully done, down the sidelines, towards the end zone, still on its feet, down inside the 5. Another big play for the Whalers.
that coverage was just exposed on that one. I mean, they had Raposo wrapped up in the backfield, but still somehow gets it off.
Well, that's the thing. You left one guy open because of the pass rush, and this is what happens. So there should have been a tackle made right there, but Trevor Green was able to escape with one heck of a run after the catch. CJ Roque got underneath him and tripped him up.
There's going to have to be a strong goal line stand.
May have a timeout here. Whalers take timeout. It's 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Just over 5.5, or just under 5.5 to play before the first half comes to a close. Toppers trail 6-0. Whalers knocking at the door to the end zone, looking for more points and hoping to make this a 2-score game. So what it's come down to, Desmond, is that these are the big plays. We've seen them hurt Durfee this season a couple times, and we're seeing it hurt Durfee again today.
It's almost like the Durfee curse, you know, you're almost just waiting for it to happen.
They do the little plays very well. They can handle a lot of the smaller plays, but these big plays that develop sometimes, things get out of sync a little bit. We see that the Hilltoppers a lot of times struggle to kind of regroup and just get to the ball, play to the ball, as they say. And that's what happened on the big run for Rapoza, and that's what happened on that pass to Green. So 1st and goal from the 3. Rapoza tosses it out. And it is touchdown for Moraes, his first of the day. And the Whalers have scored 2 touchdowns this morning. 12-0 the score. So 1 for Rapoza on the ground, the QB. This one, a rushing touchdown for Jonathan Moraes. It is the 11th touchdown of the season for Moraes.
I mean, if the Toppers want to stay in this game, they have to answer back. There's no other option.
Well, they have plenty of time before the half to do it, and they're going to have to take advantage of the last 5 minutes here before the break. They're going to go for 2 to make it 14-0. Rapoza to the corner, and is it reeled in? It looks like a good catch, and it is. Eli Conde with the catch in the corner. It's clean. Both feet were down. He had possession. 14-0. New Bedford leads Durfee here on Thanksgiving Day.
That 2-point conversion right there makes up for that missed field goal. Beautiful pass from Raposo. Puts it right where only his wide receiver can catch it. Gets 1 foot in, and that's a nice catch.
And it's kind of what I expected. Again, instead of kicking into the wind, they decided to go for 2 and try to get it back to that 14-0 score, and it worked. So 5:16 to play. This game almost an hour old in real time, coming up on 11 o'clock. Kickoff was at 10:15, so actually moving pretty quickly. If we get through this half in an hour's worth of real time, I mean, that's not bad. Last year's game was a very long game, and it also went into overtime. Of course, the Whalers won it 28-26 in OT, and that's after trailing by 7. They went 80 yards for the game-tying drive with 3:09 to play. So we talked about that last year. Durfee did have the lead last year in New Bedford. They go with the squib kick here. But the Whalers came back and kind of stole one, I'd say, last year, because honestly, I thought Durfee was the underdog last year. This year, I was a little more confident in Durfee based on their play down the stretch, and I'm surprised to see them down 14-0.
I mean, that's something that doesn't change every year. New Bedford, they bring it. They're nice and physical, and they're fast. So Durfee just has to be faster and more physical.
Well, one good thing is that the Hilltoppers have very good field position here on this drive. They'll start from their own 44, so they're almost at midfield. One thing that is holding true to my prediction is that I said they would play from behind. We'll see if they are able to mount a comeback here as they hand it off to Brooks. And Brooks gets really his first solid run in maybe 2 drives because he'd been getting stood up at the line. That time a pickup of about 5. It is a 5-yard pickup. 2nd and 5 coming up.
All you need is plays like that. It'll add up. As you see here, he just good blocking right up the middle. You can see the whole defensive line from New Bedford just caving in, and Eli just runs free.
So the linesmen need to keep doing their job. It'll give Eli Brooks a little bit of room. 2nd and 5. I'd really like to see the passing game open up a little bit for the Hilltoppers. I think that would give Brooks even more room. They'll hand it off again, and he storms up the middle. Good for a first down as he's tackled across the 45.
That's all you need. 2 5-yard runs, that equals a first down right there. As you see right now, Jay Susan, number 23, the lead blocker for Eli, they both just run right through to get that first down.
So a fresh set of downs for Durfee to work with. They break the huddle. Very similar formation again. The Hilltoppers line up with Brooks in the backfield. This time it's going to be a bit of a sweep. And Brooks able to cut. Still on his feet, he falls out of bounds after gaining 8 yards.
That was great blocking by the wideouts on the end there. As you see, look, I mean, everybody's blocked. He has a free lane to the sideline. He's tripped up. If he wasn't tripped up, he would have had a guaranteed first down.
That's exactly what happened. Just a little bit of a trip up there. He lost his footing. This is actually going to be, it was a 7-yard gain officially. So 2nd and 3, just shy of the 35. Clock will continue to roll with each running play, although I thought Brooks went out of bounds, but I guess he was down before he rolled out of bounds. He was down by contact. Now a timeout will stop the clock. 3:24 to play here in the first half.
I mean, it's important that the Toppers score before the half. They have the ball after the half so they can tie it up, but it's very important that they score on this drive.
That's the goal. Score at the end of the first half. If you're getting the ball at the second half, do that little kind of wrap around. It's like a double take almost. You've been in these huddles before. What's Coach Brown telling the guys right now?
He's just telling them, I mean, they got to execute, especially that line. I guarantee you right now, he's telling that line they have to block. I've heard that enough throughout my 4 years playing here, but last year he said it all the time. The line has to block.
Well, we'll see if they can continue because this Durfee offense has looked much better than they did the last 2 drives where they were forced to punt after short series. They've already gotten 1 first down on this drive. They're in Whalers territory. 2nd and 3 coming up. Vieira looking to pass this time, has a lot of time. Far side for Sakai Howard, and he's tripped up.
Vieira had all day in that pocket.
Howard was there, but it was just a little bit away from him, a little bit too far. Couldn't make the catch.
Vieira, I mean, that pass seemed to be on path. I mean, if Sakai would have been more towards the pylon, he would have made that catch.
I like going for it, though, on 2nd down. Try giving New Bedford something different. Now it opens up your options on 3rd down. 3rd and 3, big spot here. They'll probably give it to Brooks. They do, and Brooks is going to try to get through, and he does stay on his feet. First down, Hilltoppers, and the fans approve.
I mean, every time you see them hand that ball off to Eli, you know something exciting is going to happen. I just love it. As you see here, he just sees nothing's up the middle, goes to the outside, breaks a tackle, almost tripped up again, but regains his balance and piles through for a first down.
That time it was not to be denied. I think even if he had fallen after that, he was falling forward, I think the 3 yards would have been taken. They would have had the first down, but instead he got a little more on it. So 1st and 10 for Durfee. Colin Medeiros in motion. Brooks gets the handoff, falls forward after a gain of maybe a yard, 2 at most. I think it's pretty clear with the 2,000 yards within reach that Coach Brown is going to have them handing it off to Brooks as much as possible. Souza has gotten, I think, 2 snaps in this game. There are 2 handoffs, I should say, but I think it's pretty much going to be the Eli Brooks show on the ground.
And that's not really a bad thing for the Toppers. He's running great today.
Oh, pressure coming, little shuffle pass. Incomplete. It was a forward pass. You know, those shuffle passes, Conley did that a lot last year, and a lot of them were laterals. They were back, and that's a live ball. This one was forward, so it's just incomplete. You got to be careful with those.
Seemed like if Salmon would have caught that, he still wouldn't have went for many yards. As number 6 for the Whalers, Eli Conde, he was right there.
Conde made the stop. Souza coming off, so now should just be Brooks alone in the backfield on 3rd and long. 3rd and 9 inside the 30. Just over 2 minutes to play. I'd say this is 4-down territory, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah, especially with the amount of time.
Almost picked off by the Whalers. Vieira can do nothing right now with the passing game, not having any luck.
I mean, that right there, that was just a mistake on Vieira's part. He should have looked around. As you see here, he has a little bit of time, but he tries to force the ball through a couple of defenders. I mean, that's just not a smart pass.
I think he felt the pressure coming from behind him, and so he probably was trying to get the ball off before getting sacked and losing any more yards. But he almost turned the ball over, so. Brings up 4th and 9, and now a timeout will be called by Durfee. Taylor Brown using a timeout here. Got to go for it. Need a big play. Durfee cannot afford to come up empty here on this drive.
I mean, that's something he's probably telling them right now in the huddle. This is a big play. This is the last game of their season. I mean, for the seniors, this is it. A lot of them will never put on another pair of shoulder pads ever again. So he's giving them the motivation right now to get that first down.
This is the last touchdown from New Bedford. Jonathan Moraes running it in from 3 yards out. And that's why it's 14-0 right now.
And as you see, a lot of them, they over-pursued, thinking that he was going to take it to the corner pylon, but he cuts back and not even touched.
Durfee needs 9 yards to keep this drive alive, otherwise New Bedford will take over on downs. They need to get to the 21, or to the 19 rather. Vieira going to go to the air. Oh, it's incomplete. It was a little bit too far to the outside. They went to Brooks. But it was too far to the sidelines. Wind is blowing in that direction. It could have pushed it a little bit. Durfee comes up empty again and in danger of getting shut out here in this first half.
I mean, if that wind wasn't there, that ball would have been on point to Eli, and he probably would have scored. I mean, he burned his defenders.
Oh, he was wide open, that's for sure. He had plenty of room, and there was nobody in front of him. Now the Whalers take over. 1st and 10 from the 28. Oh, another big running play there. Good chunk of yards. There are flags everywhere, though.
Most likely a holding call somewhere.
Yeah, if the Hilltoppers are lucky, that'll be coming back.
They cannot have plays like that.
It is a hold. Good call, Desmond. So that'll back up the Whalers. It's from the spot of the foul. So after 6 yards gained, 10 yards back. And that brings up a replay first down. So it'll be 1st and about 14, maybe 13, or thereabouts. And the cheerleaders taking a group photo right on the track. So we'll replay first down. They hand it off again, another big rush. A lot of room, and Moraes is taken down just shy of the 50, so they got it right back. Almost the same exact play, they just reversed it, opposite side.
That was really good blocking on the Whalers' part. I mean, they had everybody locked down.
So first down for New Bedford. They move the chains. Under 90 seconds to play here in this first half. Durfee has to halt these big plays and make New Bedford work for it. There's not a lot of time on the clock, and if they make enough stops, they can prevent the Whalers from scoring a third touchdown. Again, Durfee will get the ball to begin the second half. We want you to stay with us during halftime. We'll recap this first half. We'll also hear from both athletic directors, Tom Tarpey, second-year AD from New Bedford, fifth-year AD for Durfee, Vic Pereira. We'll hear from both of them. And we will also have the halftime show by the bands. We want you to stay with us here live on Fred TV, Channel 9 at Mac Aldrich Field. First and 10, 48-yard line. Pressure coming. Rapoza skipped away, and it is going to be incomplete.
For a minute, I thought he actually caught that one. That would have been a fantastic catch. He actually left his feet for that. As you see here, Eli Brooks, he's getting loose in that backfield. He's just a little bit of ways, and see, he almost caught it.
He knows he had it in his sights. So incomplete, second and 10. See if Raposo goes to pass again. He will. Going to go down the field to the near sidelines. That one is reeled in to Anua. Manny Anua Jr. coming up with it. Good for a first down.
That comeback route, that's one of the hardest routes to cover right there.
That's one of the things that with the time running down, this is where you see a lot of passes because an incomplete pass will stop the clock. You don't have to burn a timeout. So you won't see too many running plays inside 2 minutes. Most of the time they'll go to the air. So the Whalers in Durfee territory now at the 39-yard line.
First and 10 at the Hilltop of 39 for the Whalers. Split out to the near side over on the right. That's Regroup. Far side on the left. That is New and now settling over.
Conde and Ross swapping sides. Going to pass again. Plenty of time. And there is a flag in the back here. It was complete to Anua.
This flag will definitely bring this play back.
Yeah, most likely another hold by the Whalers.
So the ball is going to go back to about the 49-yard line, and it'll be a first and 20 for the Whalers.
So it's a 10-yard penalty. The hold was right at the line. Penalty was right at the line. So with 60 seconds, it'll be first and 20 now. 55 seconds as the clock continues to roll.
All right, split out to the far side over on the left is Keeney, near side over on the right. That is
Rapoza getting ready to pass. High snap, almost lost it. Fingers kept it down. Now he's going to have to run it. Nobody open. Has some room. And Rapoza is dragged down across the 35 for about a 15-yard pickup.
I mean, on that play, too, the Toppers gave him too much time in the pocket. Way too much time.
Way too much time. They certainly covered downfield well. That's why he had to run it, but he had too much time to think.
As you see here, number 60 throws one defender down and throws his second defender down. You cannot have that happen.
So 34 seconds left in this first half. It'll be second and about 6. So that's a 14-yard pickup by Rapoza.
really not a big kicking game for the Whalers this year, so I doubt very much we're looking at anything in the way of a field goal attempt.
So 2nd and 6. Whalers marching. Hilltoppers need a stop. Lots of time again. Going to the end zone for the kill shot, and it is incomplete. A little bit long. No flags on the field. That was intended for Anua.
And that's still great coverage by number 27, Asante Montero.
He's been busy in this game. That was intended for Anua, looking for touchdown number 8. He has 7 on the season. It's incomplete. 3rd and 7. 27 seconds on the clock.
It brings up a 3rd down and 6 with 27 ticks left on the clock here in the first half. And he splits out to the near side right. Conde in the slot, and inside of him is Ross. Far side left, that is Conde. Back to pass. It is Rapoza.
Up the middle it goes, and it is complete. Eli Conde comes down with it for a first down. 20 seconds, time running out. Have to run to the line. They halt the clock until the linesmen are set with the chains, and now it goes. They spike the ball. It costs them 2 seconds, 19 to play.
I mean, yet again, the Toppers have their backs against the wall. They need to stop the Whalers right now.
They absolutely do. And 19 seconds is a lot of time now that the Whalers are inside the red zone. They could take a bunch of shots at the end zone.
As you see there again, Raposo all day in the pocket, can look at all his options. And also, if you have no push in your defensive line, I mean, your secondary can only cover somebody for so long.
Yeah, and, you know, I don't even know so much it's necessarily Durfee's fault on the defensive side. New Bedford's offensive line is super tough as well. So here we go again. Look at the blocking. Tons of time. Floats it to the end zone. Wide open. It's Jonathan Moraes. His first receiving touchdown of the afternoon. He ran it in once from 3, and now he catches it. Makes it 20-zip in favor of New Bedford.
The Toppers are going to have to do some major reconstructing for the second half.
Yes, major changes will need to be made. Major adjustments. They're going to go for the extra point. That kick is on its way, and that kick is good. 21-0. The Durfee Hilltoppers trail the New Bedford Whalers here at Durfee High School on Thanksgiving morning. We have 14 seconds left before the half comes to a close. Whalers will kick it off to Durfee. And unless we see a crazy run back or a crazy return, my guess is Durfee's going to take the knee and go and regroup.
Right, there's no need to run any more plays in this half. Save yourself some energy and injuries. And
Sakai Howard and Latrell Cantu back deep. About the 15-yard line, ready to receive the ball and return it back. Corey Pena getting ready to kick it off. Nice kick. Good tumble on it. Sakai Howard takes it at the 20. Nice little cut. Gets pushed out of bounds across the 30. So 9 seconds left. Hilltoppers will come out on the field. They'll take it from their own 33. Coach Brown had a pretty lengthy meeting with Jaron Vieira. There's Coach Brown on your screen. And we'll see if they don't maybe try one deep pass and just go for broke here. 9 seconds. They're certainly not taking the knee. They're not gonna rest quietly here. Pressure coming, a little floater towards the sidelines. Nobody there. It was intended for Eli Brooks. Well covered by number 28, it appeared there, Victor Carrion Jr. So it's 6 seconds. It took 3 seconds. You can run one more play probably. Are you surprised?
To be honest, no. I know the type of coach that Coach Brown is. I mean, now I wouldn't expect him to do it, but you never know with him.
The only thing that you want to avoid is the chance that you could have a pick six. That's the only thing, because everybody in the world knows that Hilltoppers are passing the ball right now.
I mean, at this point, 21-0, pick six wouldn't be too bad.
Vieira has to scramble now, going deep down the field, and that is going to be out of bounds. Nick Salmon, and time expires anyway on the first half, so it's moot. It doesn't matter. What does matter is the score. The New Bedford Whalers Bedford Whalers are leading the Durfee Hilltoppers 21-0. I know that everybody in the stands wishes it was what I had just almost said, that the Whalers trail. The Whalers lead 21-0 here on Thanksgiving Day at the end of the first half. Not the way that the Hilltoppers wanted this first half to go. So recap the scoring. You know, it opened in the first quarter, late in the first quarter, that big 59-yard run for Andrew Rapoza, taking it all the way down to the end zone untouched. And then we saw Moraes take it in from 3 after a big pass play, catch and run. And then here, just to end it right now, we saw another pass to Moraes. It was a deep pass to the end zone. So that's what's happened so far. It's all New Bedford. Well, let's hear from the athletic directors at this time. I mentioned I spoke with them in the days leading up to the game today. And we'll start with Tom Tarpey because, you know, this is such a big game. We've been talking about it. And I asked him about what it means to put on a Whalers uniform on a day like today, on Thanksgiving Day. It's such a big day. And he explained that there's no I in team.
It's the tradition, and we got to get the kids, and I know Coach DeBrito does it often, to buy into, you know, you're playing for the name on the front of the jersey, not the back. And there's so many people in our community that are supportive of the football team and the football program, and it's a big deal to them on Thanksgiving Day too that we, you know, we keep winning.
And right now, New Bedford is in good position to keep winning, up by 3 scores. But, you know, it really comes down to it across all the sports. This is the game every year, all the hype, the tradition, as Tom said. Nothing else matters except for winning on Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. I mean, for me, it's very upsetting to know that I will never get a chance to ever win a Thanksgiving game. I'll never know that feeling. And it's upsetting to see them losing right now 21-0. Having not scored a touchdown in that whole first half. I mean, it's just terrible.
Hilltoppers have lost 8 straight on Thanksgiving Day after a 3-year winning streak. They won in fall of 05. They won in fall of 06 in torrential rain. That was my senior year out in New Bedford. And then they won again back at home in fall of 07. Have not won since then. And now another big part, as I had mentioned as well, is that this is a big crowd. Biggest crowd of the season, and you know, I had spoke to Victor Pereira about that. Let's hear from Vic now.
It's just a lot of logistical things, you know, and we'll take Thanksgiving like any other home football game, knowing that there'll probably be more spectators coming, so you put more people working. So it's like any other home game. We'll prepare, we'll get everything ready, and hopefully, after that, you know, whistle blows to start it. I'm looking forward to a great Thanksgiving Day game.
That was Athletic Director for Durfee, Victor Pereira, talking about the big fan base that we have on hand in the biggest game of the year. And now we're joined by Superintendent of Public Schools, Meg Mayo-Brown. And Meg, maybe you can kind of echo what Vic is saying. This is the biggest fan base of the year. It takes a lot of preparation, but everybody's behaving. Everybody's really enjoying a game despite Durfee losing right now.
Well, they sure are, and we're so proud of both our students and our fan base, and want to wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving. This is just an incredible day. You can see how much Durfee pride is in the audience. Again, there's a great presence of our student body, but you see a lot of former students here with their Durfee jackets on from 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I mean, I think this is a great tradition that everybody comes out to support our team.
That's what it really comes down to, is tradition. We've been driving that point home, and we spoke in week 2 in the Taunton game here when Durfee won, and since then the team really did finish strong. Today, not having the luck that they wish, but it is all about that tradition. It's about coming out on Thanksgiving morning and playing football.
It is, and don't count Durfee out at halftime, because they love to come back and fight, and they're not giving up. And again, a very special day for us, and we want to recognize both that we're Durfee strong and Nellie strong today in honor of our student Nellie. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
to
Thanksgiving to you too. So again, getting back to Victor as well, and echoing what our superintendent said, is that this is a big fan base today, and there's a lot of preparation that goes into it. So people do come here early. They get ready to go. Extra staff on hand to handle the big crowd, because look at the stands. They're full. You've seen it on the video today.
Right. I mean, the whole city shows up to watch these guys play. I mean, this is it. This is the Super Bowl for us.
It certainly is a Super Bowl, and you're taking a direct quote from quarterback Jaron Vieira. He said, "This is essentially our Super Bowl." It's true. Durfee is not in the playoffs this year, so they're not going to Gillette. This is it. This ends the season, and they want to win today. They're going to have to work hard at it. Right now, the New Bedford Whalers Marching Band is on the field, so we'll listen to some great music from them, and then we'll hear from the Durfee Band as well. So we'll take a time out and let you enjoy this halftime show by the school's marching bands.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the 2015-2016 BMC Durfee High School Hilltopper Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Mr. Matthew McMullen. Assistant Director is Mr. Jay Treehorn. The color guard advisor is Miss Erica Souza. The drum major is Taylor Piva, and the color guard captain is Kristen De Silva. The band performs at all home games, community performances, school concerts, and several parades throughout the school year. This year, the program is entitled I Heard It on the Radio. It includes current pop songs like Light 'em Up and Uptown Funk. Hope you enjoy the show.
Yeah, that's fine. We can talk if you're ready. We're open and ready to go here. Mike's alive. We're back, ready for the second half. Happy Thanksgiving to all. We appreciate your staying with us here on Fred TV Channel 9 for this live broadcast from Durfee High School, Mac Aldridge Field. The Durfee Hilltoppers headed back onto the field. The fans cheering for them, but the home team is down 21-0 here. They get a standing ovation. How about that? Not too many times, Desmond, would you say that a team trailing 21-0 would get a standing O when they come back from the locker room.
I mean, a lot is on this game. I mean, especially with, you know, the whole Nelly situation. I mean, this crowd is just, they got to be up the whole game if the Toppers want to have a chance of coming back.
Yes, our superintendent, Meg Mayo Brown, joined us in the booth prior to the halftime show, and she did mention that, yes, we have the Durfee pride, but we're also Nelly Strong today. And there's a lot of emotions with the football team because she was close to a lot of the players. She was a cheerleader. So it's on everybody's mind right now. And, you know, that's difficult because you have to come out and play a game as well.
Right, and I mean, that's a good motive for these guys to come out and play even harder this half, knowing that they didn't score last half, so that's their first mission. They get the ball right now, they drive down the field and score.
New Bedford's defense has been sensational this morning and into this afternoon as we're almost at the noontime hour, and they've really taken Eli Brooks out of the equation. We have him down, hearing in the booth here, he has 89 yards. And, you know, that's a good day for most, but for him, that's actually a little below average. So the Whalers have really taken him out of the equation, and it's forcing Durfee to have to do other things. And they're not adjusting as well as Coach Brown, I'm sure, would like them to.
See, and this is the thing I love about high school football is anything can happen. Eli can come out this next half and get 200 off the back. I mean, anything can happen.
That's very true. That's the beauty of live sports. We discussed that in the open as well, as that much as we want to try to predict things to happen, you just never know. He came into the game with 217 yards. Take 89 away. He's a $128 away. 128 away from the 2,000-yard mark for this season. It is definitely not out of reach. I'd say if the Hilltoppers, what they need to do is they need to come out and make some changes. Their line needs to get much better. And they need to play up to what New Bedford's doing at the line. New Bedford's line has been outstanding. They've given Rapoza plenty of time to make decisions in the pocket.
All his rushes have come not really off of him being blitzed, but him just having too much time in the pocket and no one being open, so he just takes off.
Exactly, and then now everybody's covering downfield. Nobody's covering Rapoza. We do have a score update. Of course, we are live here, so there are other games happening right now as well. Diamond Regional is at Greater New Bedford Vogue, and Bishop Conley is in Hyannis at St. John Paul II High School. The Cougars going for 10 wins this season. They are 9-1. Their one loss came in the playoffs. They've won 2 since that loss, and they're looking to make it 10 wins on the season. They lead right now heading into the fourth quarter by 9, 23-14. We're still waiting to hear from Keith Allen over at Diamond, see what the Bengals are doing. But right now, Cougars AD, Cesar Gonzalez, was able to give us a score update, and that game is happening pretty quickly because they're already into the fourth quarter. So that one moving along with the Cougars leading over at Conley. Again, when we get something from Diamond, we'll hear from them, I hope, and we'll update you.
As you see there, number 7, Sakai Howard, he's ready to play, coming out popping dudes.
He is, Sakai Howard. I like that, popping dudes. Love it. Sakai has been a great Hilltopper, and we're going to miss him next year for sure. He is a senior this year, and he had a nice return there after the ball took a long roll. So Vieira, quick pass, pump fake. He's going to come to the near side, looking to run. Oh, he spin moves, falls on his back right at the line of scrimmage. Another nice tackle for the Whalers.
I don't really see what they're trying to accomplish on that one.
Well, it looked like he wanted a quick pass, and then nobody was open, so the play kind of fall apart on them, and then Victor Carrion Jr. made the tackle, tripping up Vieira. So it brings up 2nd and 10. No gain on the first play from scrimmage of the second half. Again, Durfee trails 21-0. They need to score desperately on this opening drive here. Brooks with nowhere to go, and you saw Luis Lopez, he was right at the line. He got an extra jump, and nobody was on him. He snuck right through the offensive line.
You see here, New Bedford just right through. Nobody. Look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defenders on Eli immediately after he gets the ball.
So Brooks, no gain there, nowhere to go. Got right back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10, the Whalers looking for a 3 and out, and they could do it. They have a shot at it right here. Pressure coming again. Vieira's going to hurry. Going to float it to the sidelines. Nick Salmon escapes one tackle, still on his feet. Lucky to get back to the line. Another fantastic play on the defensive side of the ball by the Whalers.
You see on that one, Coach Brown yelling at his players to block. There's just absolutely no blocking. Look at this. As soon as he catches the ball, 1, 2, 3. 3 people, and you see right behind him is about 4 Durfee defenders just not blocking whatsoever.
And then C.J. Roque actually got in the way of Salmon when he was trying to get through. So just all kinds of disarray for the Hilltoppers on that drive. Vieira punts it away. It was almost blocked, and it takes a bad bounce. Not in favor for Durfee. Durfee thinks they touch it. It's Durfee ball. Hilltoppers touch. They got the ball back after the Whalers made contact with it. They made a motion to get the ball. Wow. The first mistake for the Whalers. Let's see if Durfee can capitalize on it. It's a turnover.
This right here is a big momentum swing now. And Bedford right now is on the down slope. Let's hope.
We'll see the replay. Yep, look, kicked right there. You saw it. ISO'd. It was touched. Oh,
right
actually
there.
It was right there. The
right
kick
there,
came after the fact.
It's like number 50.
Durfee with a 1st and 10. They keep the ball. They're down in New Bedford territory. Vieira will keep it, and he pulled up. He should have kept plowing forward. He had a lane if he cut inside, and he pulled up, a gain of a yard.
You look now, they really need a play. They really need a 1st down to keep this drive moving right now.
Well, like you said, they got the break, but once again, so this drive basically going back to the 3 and out, no yards gained here, maybe a yard gained after the fumble. This has not been a good start for the offense coming out of the locker rooms. Salmon on the near side, Medeiros on the far side. They'll hand it off to Brooks, and Brooks gets spun around after a gain of maybe 2. We'll see where they spot the ball. Brooks coming out, limping, hobbling off the sidelines. And there's a Whaler down as well on the field. Brooks is on the sidelines. He came out with an obvious limp. He's still limping. I have not seen our trainer, Kelly Mahoney, come over to him, but now Brooks is headed to the bench. Actually, I think Kelly maybe with New Bedford, we'll see. Brooks on the bench. Kelly on the sidelines. At the moment, I don't think she saw Brooks come out. Brooks has taken his helmet off, and it looks like number 55 for the Hilltoppers, Steve Souza's going to get our trainer, Kelly Mahoney, to come and see Eli, but Eli took his helmet off. That's not a good sign.
He's a huge part of this Toppers game plan. I mean, without him, this game's going to be even more rough than it already is.
We'll keep an eye to the sidelines for sure. For now, it's 3rd and 9 for Durfee. Vieira has to pass, pressure coming, going for the kill shot to Nick Salmon. There's all kinds of contact, almost intercepted by number 7, Carlos Ribeiro. I thought he gave a little bit of a push. There was some contact there on Salmon, and Salmon telling the official that right now. They're having a little conversation. Salmon not happy.
As you see there, Salmon had him beat to the outside. If Vieira could have just released that ball more to the sideline, could have possibly went for 6.
Now you're inside the 40. You're down 21-0. We're in the third quarter, so time's obviously not going to be on your side here. Looks like Hilltoppers are going to go for it. I mean, it's hard to punt from this field, and you certainly can't go for the field goal. So Durfee going to go for it on 4th and 9. Vieira needing a big play here, gets hit, going to the sideline. Salmon has it, knocked out of bounds though, and he only caught it for a short gain, did not get to the first down marker. Durfee loses it on downs. If I'm not mistaken, this is the 3rd time the Hilltoppers have lost it on downs in the game.
It's a nice catch, though, by Salmon on the sideline. He just needs to know where that first down marker is.
It was a great catch, and of course Vieira had to rush it too because he was going to get sacked, so he had to get the ball off. Maybe not, at the point that he wanted to. Probably wanted to wait a couple more seconds so Salmon could get down the field. Credit to Phil Sabatino, our sideline camera right there, getting that shot. Not afraid. Everybody coming right at him. He stayed right there for it. He's got a great shot. Brooks is up and walking around. Don't see much of a limp at the moment. He's back on the sidelines. The helmet is about to go back on, so that's a good sign. My guess is he may sit out this defensive series. We'll see. Rapoza, he loses it. That's a fumble. And the Whalers, do they get it back? It looked like the Whalers got to it first. So Kai Howard is clapping because it ends up going as a sack, basically. Big loss of yardage. So almost a second turnover here for the Whalers.
As you see there, Raposo, he went back to pitch it as he was getting hit and it knocked the ball loose. Great pursuit there. Looks like number 53, Pat Brown, fighting for that fumble.
So 23 yards to gain now. 2nd and 23, or 22 on the screen, so 22 yards to gain. Raposo's going to have to pass. Pressure coming. He gets knocked down and almost picked off by C.J. Roke. So one thing's for sure, this defense, the pass rushing, the pressure from the defensive line here, this is our first look at them the second half. I'd say much improved. Good pressure, and Rapoza gets hit pretty hard. 3rd and 22. Big plays have hurt Durfee today. This is a big spot, Desmond.
As you see also, number 25, Eli Brooks, is back in the game. We'll see if he does anything now on defense.
We'll keep an eye on Eli. You know it's going to take a severe injury to keep him out of this game. So any minor thing, he'll play through the pain, that's for sure. He's lined up on that left side. Headed straight for the QB. Nope. Raposa's going to go. They try to strip it. Raposa still on his feet. Takes a hit to the head, and he's taken down. Colin Medeiros takes him down well shy. New Bedford's going to have to punt. Still in excess of 10 yards shy of the first down.
Durfee's going to get fairly good field position out of this punt.
I would say so. They got 10 yards back there, so it ends up being 4th and 12. Ball at the 21-yard line, or 31-yard line, rather. Oh, it takes a favorable bounce that time again. So this time a favorable bounce for Durfee.
Durfee was yelling poison, but as you see, Colin Medeiros was close to that ball there. That's not safe.
No flags on that punt. Special teams, everybody blocking very well here. No blocks in the back. You see that so often on punts and kickoffs. Durfee starts inside their own 40. This is great field position for the Hilltoppers. At the 42, 1st and 10, Durfee. 5.5 to play here in this third quarter. They go on the ground on first down, short gain.
As you see on the field, Coach Tomas Rubio is yelling at his line. He's the offensive line coach telling him block. They need to block. If Eli gets an open field, he's taken off.
And I think that big play that Eli had in the first quarter really opened New Bedford's eyes and said, we got to tidy up this line, otherwise it's going to be an Eli show today. And they've really taken care of business. As we said, it really took him out of the equation today. Vieira going to pass. It's incomplete. There is a flag down. Probably a hold on Durfee. Salmon could not come down with that. That was a catchable ball.
Oh, yes, indeed. I mean, it hit his hands. I'm surprised he did not pull that one in.
Oh, a chop block on Durfee now. We saw one for New Bedford, now one on Durfee. That's 15 yards.
It looked like center Kyle LePage was part of that one.
So after the 15-yard penalty, it's going to be 2nd and 25.
Yeah, right there, center Kyle LePage. He goes for the cut block. He should have communicated with his left guard, Kyle Bouchard, on that one.
Went right down to the ground. Tough break for Durfee. 2nd and very long. Now another. That's going to be a false start. Make it another 5. So essentially a 2nd and 30 coming up.
I'll tell you right now, no coach has a play for 2nd and 30 in their playbook.
No, I can imagine not. Durfee backed up into another time zone right now.
Couldn't really tell on the replay. Looked like the motion man went forward a little bit.
That would be your false start. And nobody at the line moved, at least not from what I could see. Big spot here for Durfee. They have a lot of work to do to get back these yards. Eli has a hole, lots of room. Eli Brooks has an open field. The only one near him is Manny Anua. Brooks slows up, taken out of bounds at the 5. Brooks digs him out of the hole.
That's that getaway speed I've been talking about all game. Give him open field, and there he is. I'm surprised to see him slow down. I'm surprised he didn't plow himself into the end zone. What a run by Eli Brooks.
Look at the hole. Nobody near him. And let me tell you, as the tides may have turned just a bit for Durfee, they changed for Conley. 1 minute to play. Conley now losing 30-23 to St. John Paul II. So the Cougars, we just got a score update that the Cougars are trailing right now by a touchdown after allowing 16 unanswered points with a minute to play. So Conley trailing now. They were going for win number 10. Durfee trailing 21-0, but Brooks just got the offense in high gear with that run. We'll see if they can find the end zone. There's a flag. Brooks gets free. Taken down inside the 5, shy of the goal line.
Jaron Vieira actually kept that one.
Oh, that was Vieira. My bad. I thought it was Brooks. But there was a penalty. It looks like another chop block. It is another chop block. And Coach Brown not happy about it. See if we can see it again on the replay. Yeah, look, it's right down to the ground again.
Yeah, the same.
Left side of your screen.
Same two people, Kyle LePage and Kyle Bouchard. I mean, both of them, they need to get on the same page here.
Yeah, so now a 15-yard penalty just like that. Durfee backed out of the red zone. Another costly 15-yarder. These are the penalties, the big penalties that just drive a coach crazy. So now from the 22, we'll replay first down. It was 1st and goal. They pitch it to Brooks. Brooks down the sidelines. Touchdown, Eli Brooks. Number 20 on the season for the Durfee running back. And by the way, with that long run down the field, And then this carry to the end zone, we're inching ever so closer to 2,000.
What an amazing run. As soon as he gets the pitch, full speed ahead. Great block by number 1, Colin Moraes on the outside, giving Eli that lane. And there he is, flexing in the end zone. Touchdown.
They'll go for the point after. Vieira has been pretty solid, 13 for 19 on extra point kicks this season. One of the best percentages of made. Oh, blocked. What happened there? Looks like it might have been a bad set. Vieira went and kind of stopped, kind of like almost like a stutter step, and they could not make it happen. Nonetheless, Durfee does find the end zone, and that is a good sign.
I mean, it's about time they find the end zone, but as you see, the ball was placed down late. So Vieira was waiting for the setup.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. It was a bad set.
Toppers finally putting some points on the board. It was only a matter of time before Eli Brooks gets in the end zone. That's something you see every game is Eli, with all the carries he gets, is finding that end zone. Momentum now on Durfee's side as they set to kick off.
And we have Eli Brooks, thanks to our friends at WSAR. Coach Dave Olmschneider, your former baseball coach. He's still head coach here at Durfee, second-year head coach. He'll be in the spring, and he's calling the game over on SAR. We have Brooks at 184 yards on the day, just thanks to that one drive.
I wouldn't see
33 yards away. Forced out of bounds at around the 35-yard line. As the sun comes back out for the Hilltoppers, really only bright spot of the day was that last drive, couple big plays. The big plays burned to Durfee earlier. This time they got one of their own thanks to Brooks.
I mean, all it takes is another touchdown from Durfee, and they're right back in this game.
3:58 on the clock. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. New Bedford will take over. This is where Durfee needs the defensive stop. Keep momentum on your side. They got the stop last time. The defense looked much better, in my opinion, particularly the pass rush. We'll see what they do here. Moraes is able to pick up maybe 3 yards before going down.
Good stop, only allowing about 3 yards.
Yep, they give him 3, so it'll be a 2nd and 7 coming up.
As you see there, it's just a battle on that line. It's great to see.
Second and 7 ball just across the 35. Rapoza rather, set back to pass. He drops back now, has to go over the line. Oh, a catchable ball dropped by Jordan Ross. He had that in his fingertips and he lost it.
That would have been huge if he would have caught that. He had nothing but green behind him. He had about 1 or 2 guys that maybe would have caught up to him, but that would have been terrible.
He could have made the turn, no doubt. Another player down for the Whalers. We'll see if we can't get a close-up of who is on the field right now.
That's number 15, Andrew Raposo. He was
the quarterback.
Nailed. He was nailed, absolutely destroyed as he threw that ball, putting his body on the line. I mean, that's something you never want to see is another player down.
So the QB for the Whalers is down. I missed the block. I was watching the ball in the air, seeing who it was intended for. And you'll see it right here. Oh, yeah, he went down hard. Lifted up, basically, and brought right down.
It looks like number 53, Pat Brown, with the hit.
Let me just say this, that, you know, the turf here, as good as this artificial turf is, the field turf, it's amazing. It's so much better than the old AstroTurf. You know, the stuff you put in your basement. But there's nothing like playing on an actual field. And Rapoza is hurt. He might have blew out his knee or something because he's hurt and he can barely walk. And so now, going to have to rely on a backup quarterback. We'll wait to see who is coming out. It's going to be number 6. Eli Conde is going to slide into the QB role. So this will be interesting to see what happens here. Durfee did score, momentum shifted their way. You never want an injury, but this could be the kind of thing that might throw off New Bedford's game a bit and give Durfee a little bit more of a boost. They hand it off, 3rd and 6. Durfee makes a stop. He is tackled shy of the line. This is going to be an interesting call for Mark DeBrito. Very close to the 4th down marker, but you're in Durfee territory. Do you go for it or not? A little more than a yard to gain. It's a long one. And it looks like they're going to go for it.
Yeah, they're going to go for it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see Durfee with an all-out blitz right now. I mean, they tried it on the last play, but he still powered through.
Mora got that extra effort thanks to Trevor Green kind of pushing him forward. If the Hilltoppers had made the tackle 2 yards shy, he wouldn't have gotten that. They missed it, and he fell forward, and that got them closer to the line to gain, and that's why they can go for it right now. Full team timeout taken now for the Whalers. They want to regroup and make sure that they're doing the right thing here, making the right choice.
I wouldn't be surprised to see after this timeout that they punted away. I mean, they do have a 21-6 lead. The only thing is, if they go for it and don't get it, the momentum stays with Durfee, they could go down.
We're going to take a look at, mention the momentum, and, you know, Bedford's going to be careful. This is Eli Brooks, that big run that he had on the last drive.
That's that getaway speed I was talking about. You can try to catch him, but you're not gonna. I'm surprised he slowed down here. He's seen the defender. He thought maybe he had a chance to juke him out instead of just running through him, but what a run.
Well, you know, maybe that's Eli taking care of himself, slowing up to give a stiff arm so he doesn't get tripped up on an ankle that looked like he might have rolled when he came out limping. So maybe he was just playing it a little bit smart there, not wanting to maybe further injure himself. And you're right, it looks like, well, anything's possible. You could see a fake. Durfee faked it earlier. But right now it looks like the Whalers are going to punch it away. But the line is ready for a fake as well. Let's see what happens. That's a low snap. They do punt it away. Wow. So Mark DeBrito playing it safe. That's a great punt. Look at it roll inside the 10 before it goes out of bounds. Fantastic punt by the Whalers. Fantastic. Look at that. So they back Durfee way up.
I believe that was still number 15, Andrew Rapoza.
Yeah, so it looks like Rapoza maybe no worse for wear. We'll have to wait and see.
So on this drive, it could be possible that Eli Brooks breaks through the 200 mark on this game.
200 mark on the game and the 2,000 marker for the year. Needs 33. Brooks has the carry. Brooks on his feet. Still on his feet, taken down across the 20. First down, Durfee.
I mean, he's just a new breed or something. I mean, the way he just runs, I mean, it takes about 3 guys to take him down. He just powers through. I love it.
That looked to be about a 12-yard run, maybe a 13-yard run. So now he's about 20 yards away. We're hearing he's at 199 right now for the day. Brooks with another big run.
Eli again. I mean, right by defenders. It takes so much for them to take him down. He just doesn't stop. He's like the Energizer Bunny. He just keeps on going.
Brooks with one more big carry will surpass 2,000 yards. Taken down, short gain that time.
way he just runs. As soon as he hits the line, feet keep on going, and he gets extra yards.
So 2 first downs on this drive, 2nd and 6 coming up. Final minute of the 3rd quarter. Brooks remains in the backfield, chasing 2,000. Just a few yards away. Direct snap, now they pitch it to Brooks. Oh, he gets sideswiped by Eli Conde. Brooks heading out.
There's only so many hits a running back can take, but Eli, man, what an athlete.
And there it is right there, 2,000 yards for Eli Brooks. He did get it with that last carry. And so he'll take a breather. Of course, you know, our stats are unofficial, so.
I can't help but be so proud of him, you know, being his teammate in both baseball and football. I mean, just great to see him at 2,000. I mean, he was talking about that about 5 weeks ago when he went up to Bridgewater to come visit me, and here he is. He finally reached his goal.
That's unbelievable. And, you know, nice. It's amazing it happened right there because that was the final few ticks of the 3rd quarter. So they were able to let time run out and kind of almost give a pause. So he got his 2,000th yard. Eli Brooks surpassing number 2,000. This is the touchdown, his 20th of the season. That was Durfee's score on their last drive.
Just gallops into the end zone.
Unbelievable. We'll see if Brooks returns because he is being tended to again on the sidelines. We switch sides. Final act here from Mac Aldridge Field. 11 minutes left in this one. Durfee trails 21-6. Here to begin the 4th quarter, we'll begin it with yellow flags being flown onto the field. Evan Massoud and Desmond Sanders with you this morning into this afternoon. A false start on 3rd and short will make it 3rd and long.
Drive after drive, the Hilltoppers keep shooting themselves in the foot with these flags. I mean, I forgot to mention at the beginning of the game, you didn't see many flags going their way, but now it's hurting them.
It is hurting them. This is on a 3rd and short. That's the last thing you want. CJ Roque in there. Jay Souza coming out. It's going to be a 3rd and 8 now. 3rd and 8 from the 38-yard line. More like the 39. We'll say 39. Big play here for Durfee. Bigger play for the defense. Oh, Vieira is, he escaped. Gonna throw on the run. All kinds of contact there. It's caught. Colin Medeiros comes down with it.
What a play by Jaron Vieira, keeping the play alive. Scrambling out of the pocket. I watch him play, and I'm just amazed by this play right now, the way he kept it alive.
Unbelievable.
What more can you ask for in a quarterback but to just throw that ball in? I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Look at that.
They came with a 2-man rush there, both sides, and Vieira escaped it, and then Medeiros came down with it. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable to make something out of nothing. So Durfee moves the chains. They're in New Bedford territory now.
Let's go, offense! Let's go!
Vieira looking to pass again. Has pressure again. Will have to roll out. Pump fake. Tries to cut in. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Nobody there. They've taken Brooks' pads off in his jersey. Maybe a shoulder issue for Brooks. His right shoulder. They took the pads off. That's never a good sign.
It also looks like they could just be fixing his shirt.
Well, maybe that's possible too.
Make the noise for your team! Come on! Let's go!
Yeah, the Hilltoppers on the sidelines trying to get pumped up. Vieira actually ended up losing 2 yards on that dash to the sidelines. So it'll be 2nd and 12. Good news for Durfee is that the more they can get outside, the less timeouts they'll have to burn, and they'll have more time to work with. 10:41 to play. It's been a pretty fast game. Oh, tipped. Sakai Howard does come down with it, but then he runs straight into a defender. That was Victor Carrion Jr. He ran straight into him.
I mean,
should have been picked.
It should have, definitely. I mean, that's why we have the tip drill. You got to catch the ball off the tip here. As you see, Jaron looking to throw it somewhere. He throws it low and it's tipped, but Sakai never keeps his eye off the ball, comes under it and catches it.
And, you know, Sakai trying to get control of the ball so he has possession. That's why he might have just ran into the guy. He might not have seen him. He's in motion again, almost the same play. 3rd and short, 3rd and 4. Vieira's looking to pass up the middle. It is broken up, incomplete.
As you see on that play, is a great cut block by number 27, Asante Montero. That was big right there. That could have been turned into a sack there.
There's a flag on the field, and we're hearing clapping from the Durfee sidelines. It looks like it is on the Whalers. It's way in the back.
Could be a pass interference. Oh, holding.
Actually, I think he went face. Oh, it is a hold. So, automatic first down for the Hilltoppers.
As you see there, Jaron Vieira, I mean, trying to force the pass in there might not have been the best option for him, but with that holding penalty, it wouldn't have mattered.
They put Sakai in motion. Vieira having to do a lot of passing. Shuffled pass to the back field. Is that Montero? I think it is. That was Montero, number 27, filling in for Brooks, who still sitting on the sidelines without his jersey on. Good tackle there by Carrion. Carrion's been everywhere. Fans coming alive with the Let's Go Durfee chant. They know this is not over. This really is not out of reach. Time, though, not on their side. Under 10 to play. Got to get a quick score here on this drive. Vieira is going to go down. No, he gets the pass off. This could be trouble. Almost taken out of the air with a scoop by Cantu. Latrell Cantu trying to come down with it. He could not.
With a pass like that, I mean, sometimes you have to turn into a cornerback and just knock the ball down so it doesn't get intercepted. But, I mean, on that play, if he would have went with 2 hands, it looked like almost he would have had a better chance to catch that. You see here, Jaron Vieira just scrambling. 3 New Bedford Whalers on the other side of that line chasing after him. He just releases it.
I can't believe he actually got the pass down there, because I thought it was just going to maybe float out of bounds, like maybe just throw it away, play it safe. And not that time. He actually got it to him. 3rd and 9 in 4-down territory. Hilltoppers need a first down. Vieira fakes pressure. Vieira going down. It's a sack. He's not happy about it because he just got taken out of 4-down territory, in my opinion. We'll see what happens. Backed up, though, for a major loss. The line collapsing, not doing its job today.
I mean, as you see now with Eli Brooks being out, they didn't run the ball. They ran it once, and it went for no gain. But, I mean, plays like that right there, Eli, that's your go-to man.
And right now, he has ice on his shoulder, so don't know that he's coming back in anytime soon. Looks like they're wrapping it. Maybe he will come back. Kelly Mahoney working hard to get him back in this game. We continue to keep an eye on the sidelines as well. But the fact that they're wrapping it up like that, I wonder if they're going to try to get him in the game. There is Kelly working with Eli, icing the shoulder. So basically 4th and 20 now after the sack. Coach Brown took a timeout. This is a pivotal spot in this game, and they got to go for it.
This is big. I mean, if they convert here, I mean, this is huge. Something they need to do.
This is the time for that big play. Hopefully for the Hilltoppers, it does come together so that this game can get a little closer.
This line needs to block, and already they're not blocking.
No, they're not blocking, and it's
There it
incomplete.
is.
New Bedford will take over on downs with 8:24 to play in the game, and they lead it by 2 scores, 21-6.
That was the drive right there that Durfee needed to come back. That right there is disappointing to see that they didn't come up with a touchdown on that drive.
They also had gotten the break of that penalty for the automatic first down as well, and they couldn't do anything with it. Durfee going back on defense. If there was ever a time for a 3 and out, this is it.
Either a 3 and out or a turnover.
Well, that too. Durfee has protected the ball today, I'll tell you that. There's been a couple close calls, but they have protected the ball. Rapoza's going to run it. Rapoza's back in. Rapoza has an open field through the defenders to the 20, to the 10, and in for the touchdown. Andrew Rapoza with his second mad dash to the end zone this afternoon. And that might have just driven the nail into the coffin. Durfee needed the big play. They didn't get it. Instead, the Whalers come right back, and they do get the big play.
As you see right here, I mean, that line just pushes right through, gives them a gap where a caravan could have drove through, and he just gallops into the end zone.
27-6, the Whalers are putting it to the Hilltoppers. Going for the point after. And the kick is blocked. Where's the ball? Who has it? The ball will be dead. No extra point, but another 6 points for the Whalers. And as we transition for kickoff, we have our Mayor Sam Sutter with us here in the booth, stopping by for the second half. Great to have him with us as well. Thanks for stopping by, Mayor.
Well, I didn't choose the best time to come up because they just scored a touchdown. We were looking pretty good. We were on the 26, 1st and 10, only down by 2 scores. But we've got, what, 8.5 to go, a little over 8. Stranger things have happened, right?
That's for sure.
I saw a 30 for 30 on ESPN about a college team. I can't remember which one. I think they were down 35-7 with 3 minutes to go. So we're still in it.
Anything can happen, and, you know, that's what has to happen. You got to stay positive. Game's not over until it's over.
Exactly. I mean, a score and a couple of onside, 2 scores and a couple of onside kicks. We're right there. The problem is he's passing into the wind, so it makes it tough. If you saw his passes on the last drive, it was tough to control him. But let's keep our hopes up, right?
Keep our hopes up. We
All
hope
right.
that Eli Brooks can get back in the game, too, because he's on the sidelines right now.
I tell you, these are good seats.
I know, right? I love the view from the
Mind
booth.
if I stay here for a little while?
Of course you can.
All right, here you go. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, Mayor.
And wishing everybody who's listening a wonderful Thanksgiving. Be thankful for our blessings and have a great day with our families. Take care.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have kickoff. Hilltoppers trying to return it. Minimal return. 8:03 to go. They are at about the 25-yard line.
You see here, it's not your normal returners. Right there, that was number 12, Elvis Rolone.
Having to change things up a little bit with Eli on the sidelines is Taylor Brown. So Hilltoppers dealing with the injury now and one of their biggest players not in the game, trailing 27-6.
If Eli out, I mean, for someone to step up, it would be.
Well, there's a hole for Montero. Oh, pile drives. Oh, baby. Talk about giving up the body. First down, Hilltoppers.
Right there's your man, number 27, Asante Montero. I mean, he's a junior this year. Still has a lot of room to build on. Looks like he's going to be a good athlete in the future.
That was a heck of a run. Take a look at this on replay.
Beautiful blocking, just goes right through, and he just leaves it all out there, sacrifices himself to get those extra yards.
Wow, he went down hard on that shoulder, let me tell you. but it is a first down. Vieira now looking to pass. Again, pressure coming. He's being chased down. He'll get it off and almost picked off again. He's playing with fire. Matt Lopes was in his face that time.
I mean, at this point in the game, you're down 3 scores with only 7:20 left. You just got to go out and make sacrifices. You got to go big or go home at this point. There's no playing it safe at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's time for the Hail Mary pass, but it'd be nice to just see all the wideouts taking off down the field and maybe open things up. Send one deep.
Maybe Jaron can turn into a Doug Flutie and get 6 here.
What, now we're going to get him to drop kick too, right? We'll drop kick the extra point. We'll see. 2nd and 10, 7:20 to play. 21-point game. Oh, bad handoff there. It's recovered by the Whalers. First turnover of the day for Durfee, and it comes at an inopportune time.
As you see, this game is just starting to crumble for the Toppers with the absence of Eli Brooks. You see here, I mean, just a terrible handoff between Jaron and Asante, but it's now Whalers' ball.
They never even got the handoff really to happen. The fumble came in the transition, it appeared. The Whalers, with 2 big plays today, have really done in the Hilltoppers, and they were both by the QB. Moraes gets the ball this time. Cuts outside. There is a flag. He's going to the end zone for the score. We'll see if it comes back, though. There's a flag at the 30.
It will come back. I believe they're going to call either a holding or a block in the back or something over here.
Pointing towards New Bedford's side, so I don't think the touchdown's going to stand. So as Mayor Sutter said, crazier things have happened. They will be backed up. Holding. And it looks like we have a doctor on the sidelines now with Latrell Cantu. We see our trainer Kelly, rather, on the sidelines, staying with him as well. Moraes gets the handoff. Moraes still wants that touchdown, and he's going to get it. Can he stay on his feet? He does. Touchdown, Whalers. Another penalty flag, though, is in the backfield, so we'll see what happens. I think it's on the Whalers again.
I believe that touchdown's going to stand if the flag came after the touchdown.
Well, if it stands, it would be a 44-yard touchdown run, and it's not going to stick. Illegal block in the penalty.
Wow, an illegal block on offense.
At the 20, away from the 20.
I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Well, Moraes gotten to the end zone twice, and it's been coming back because of the penalties. Can he get back there one more time from the 30?
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
first down again.
As you look, that block was 20 yards away from the actual running back. I mean, I don't understand why he would do something so ridiculous.
Took a touchdown away. They'll hand it off to Moraes again. Oh, no, it's not Moraes this time. I'm sorry. That's Ross. Ross to the end zone. No flags this time. Ross has the touchdown. Whalers up their lead. This has gotten ugly in a hurry.
This just might be too much for the Toppers at this point.
33-6. The Whalers now lead it. Two straight touchdowns.
Looks like everyone over pursued on that one, and I mean, Jordan Ross just runs down the field, one spin move, and he's gone to the end zone.
Yeah, Ross slipped into the running back position. That one went way to the left, hooked to the left. Extra point, no good. 33-6. Starting to see quite a few fans filing out now. Final score update from Bishop Conley and St. John Paul II in Hyannis. The Cougars gave up 16 unanswered points. They lost 30-23 to the Lions on Thanksgiving Day, so they'll have to settle with 9 wins. They finished 9-2, which is by far their best record ever. St. John Paul II finishes above 500 with 6-5 record thanks to the win. We have not heard from Diamond. Diamond was 3-7 coming into play against the 5-5 New Bedford Vogue Bears. So if we do hear anything from Keith Allen, we will update you there. But right now we know that the Cougars have lost. Right now Durfee, it does not look pretty, 33-6. The Hilltoppers down with just over 6 to play. So the outcome of this one is getting more and more predictable.
You know, it's upsetting to see this as a former topper, especially a former football player here. Just last year being my last year. Coming so close last year to this, I mean, it's just upsetting to watch.
Yeah, this is a big step back against New Bedford. I wouldn't say like for the program in general, but against New Bedford, when you take away how close it was last year, quite surprised to see this big of a blowout.
You see on that one, there was a lot of pushing. Someone pushed number 5, Nick Salmon, behind the back. He was chirping a little bit.
Yeah. And this is where now you're going to start to see, maybe you might see tempers getting a little bit, over anxious, I guess you could say. Players getting over anxious because of the way the score is right now. 1st and 10, Durfee. A touchdown would feel good right now, despite, the large deficit. If Durfee can march down the field here and at least find the end zone one more time. Another false start, it appears. Play is halted. Oh, it's on the Whalers.
Neutral zone infraction.
So it's a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay here. First down, or should I say it'll remain first down. 1st and 5 to go. Ball off the 37 on 1st and 5. Sakai Howard in motion. They fake the handoff, give it to Jay Souza. Jay Souza stops in the backfield, lots of yards. This has been the story all day, folks, if you're just tuning in. The Whalers defense, their lines on offense and defense really have been the story. They have controlled Durfee and kind of manhandled them the way that they want to all day.
I mean, it's really embarrassing. You expect them to come out in the second half and do something about it. This is a big game. A lot was on this game, and this is our outcome.
Yep, the Hilltoppers really were unable to make many adjustments in this one. Really, again, that only burst of light, if you will, or that ray of light was Eli Brooks getting the 2,000-yard mark as Sakai Howard gets the handoff. He'll try to cut back before he's tripped up, tumbling out of bounds. But Brooks got his 2,000 yards. He did get his 20th touchdown, and it was thanks to him on that drive. But other than that, it's been all New Bedford in this one. Looking at the predictions, I had mentioned that the New Bedford AD, Tom Tarpey, he had chosen the Whalers to win, as we would have expected him to do. And Tom's score was a blowout score. It's at 41-20. Durfee needs to do a little work to get to 20 points, but the Whalers are basically a score away from hitting the 40-point mark if they get the ball back. Sakai Howard with a little burst of speed, first down. They move into New Bedford territory. Howard getting it done in the last 2 plays.
I mean, at this point, you just got to play for yourself at this point. I mean, it's 33-6. Just get your stats up at this point. I mean, this is their last game. Sakai's last game, Jaron Vieira's last game. You just got to ball out at this point.
And really, the only thing you just don't want to chance any major injuries because some of these athletes are three-sport athletes. Like Nick Salmon plays basketball, so he'll be hitting the hardwood basically next week. We'll have tryouts. I believe they come next week, or should I say maybe the Monday after. I don't have an exact date. But winter sports, I mean, happen literally as soon as we get back from Thanksgiving. So Salmon will be transitioning to the hardwood, so into indoor sports. 3.5 to play. Howard went down there in the backfield. Be 2nd and 12. Almost fumbled. It is fumbled. New Bedford with the ball. They pick it up. Number 75 to the end zone he goes. Quinton Ramos. The defense now gets some points. There's a flag in the far side as well. Wait to see what the flag is.
That play was just terrible right from the start. I mean, doesn't have control of the ball and he just gets hit.
There was a penalty. It was on the Whalers, and they're going to assess that on the kickoff. So they'll have to kick from 10 yards back. They'll kick from the 30 instead of the 40, basically. Extra point coming here. It's 39. Kick is through the uprights, 40-6. The Whalers lead it. And we're still not done. 2:58 to play. 3 touchdowns in this fourth quarter.
This is just an absolute blowout at this point.
And a lot of the fans now filing out, heading home for Thanksgiving Day turkey.
It'll still be exciting to see down 40-6. If we'll see how hard they come out and play. We'll see the Durfee pride they have right now.
Well, you know they're not going to just quit because that's not what they're taught to do. And obviously Brooks' injury is bad enough. And same with Cantu, who came out number 4. Obviously, their injury is bad enough that with the score the way it is, Coach Brown not wanting to chance any further injuries to them or make it worse. Brooks is not coming back. He's out for the rest of this game. Jersey's off, and he's just on the sidelines. Kicking from the 25 after the personal foul. Oh, and that gets away. Well, Sakai Howard did not touch it, and it ends up being a touchback. So from the 25, it rolled to be a touchback. How about that? That's a great kick. Got a lucky bounce, but still, that's a great kick.
That easily could have went the wrong way or took a different bounce and could have been New Bedford's ball if they would have ran down and got it.
That's exactly right. If Sakai had touched it, it would have been a live ball.
Right, he would have had to have ran it out of the end zone or it would have been a safety.
Exactly. So from the 20, the Hilltoppers will start this drive with 2:56 to play in the game. They trail 34 points, 40-6. So after Durfee had been putting up 30-plus points a game over the last 4 games, held to just 6 points today. The Whalers defense was ready to defend the run. Flag is thrown. I wonder if it was either offsides or maybe even a delay of game, because the Hilltoppers took a while before that play, before they lined up. I'm saying an illegal substitution on the offense, so that backs up Durfee 5 yards. We have 1st and 15. Good run on the far side. Another flag, 2 of them flying.
Can't tell if it's going to be a holding call or not. Looks like it's going to be on the Toppers.
As soon as the flags were thrown, Coach Brown came out and he gave the, the huh? And he is, now he's letting the officials hear it a little bit. Not happy.
It was Asante Montero who carried that ball.
Montero had a decent carry there, but it's going to come back. 10-yard penalty from the spot. Time will continue to roll down. 2.5 to play now after that running play. Vieira going deep. Oh, is it incomplete?
It is.
It was. I thought for a minute, I thought it was going to be picked off, but it was incomplete. That stops the clock. 2:21.
That was a good job by Nick Salmon to come back to the ball. That's something you don't see a lot from high school wide receivers, is them actually come back and go to the ball.
And I think the fact that he did that actually took away any chance of a pick, because he was double teamed. Now, Eli Brooks' arm is in a sling right now, his right side. So he left it all out on the table. Who knows how injured he was on those last 2 runs when he was trying to get the 2,000 yards, but he stayed in there. There is a bunch of flags. There are a bunch of flags down again.
There it is, Jared Vieira. He knows this is it for him. Why not go out there and lay a pop on somebody?
The thing is I think it's coming back again. See the officials on your screen. We'll wait for the call. Offsides against the Whalers, and that's why play continued. Unlike a false start, play is dead. Offsides, they allow it to continue because Hilltoppers gained more than 5 yards. My guess is that they're going to deny the penalty. We'll see. Or maybe they want to replay second down. No, they're going to take the penalty yards because they want the extra down. So instead of a 3rd and 6, they'll have two downs to work with again with less yards to gain. Under 2, 2nd and about 16. Scoreboard says 17. We'll go with it. Oh, incomplete. Oh, that's a late hit. Defenseless receiver, and they just laid a hit on Salmon. Where was the flag that time? I don't know. Your take on that, Desmond? I mean, you've played the game. To me, that he's defenseless. He's down at the ball. Plays over. Whistle's done, and then he gets hit. They'll get on your screen. I'd say that's a late hit.
As soon as that ball hits the ground, it's an incomplete pass. I mean, the whistle should have been blowing already like crazy. They should have anticipated that was going to happen. These 2 rivals, I mean, you're out there, you want to do that. That's the type of stuff you want to do. So I'm surprised there were no flags thrown. I mean,
Truthfully, we've seen enough flags in the second half, but that's the sort of thing that this is how players get injured. That to me is a penalty. That's a late hit. They'll hand the ball off on third down. They get back across the line of scrimmage for a short gain. It'll bring up fourth down. We come up on 90 seconds. This is Thanksgiving Day game almost coming to an end here. 90 seconds to play. Durfee making some changes here. They're running the clock out as long as they can. And now they'll punt it away. They don't want to give New Bedford any time at all to try to score another touchdown.
So it is fourth down for the Hilltoppers. They, of course, are going to go for it now. They're going to punt it away. Let's just punt it away and get out of that. So standing inside the 10 is Vieira.
On 4th and 12, Vieira will punt it away. It's a line drive punt. It's going to roll across the 50, gets a favorable bounce. CJ Roque and Jay Souza will go over there to deaden the ball. About the 42 with 26 to play.
I mean, at this point, they're probably just going to kneel the ball and take the win.
Well, truthfully, from a sportsmanship side of things, that's kind of what I'd like to see here. This isn't like it's a three-point game. New Bedford is in control. There is no chance that they can lose this game. They're up by, it's 40 to 6. They're up by 34 points. There's no reason to run any more plays on offense. Just call it a day. As we say, that victory formation, they're lined up, ready to take a knee. They do take the knee, and that should run off the clock. Hilltoppers coming on the field to shake hands with the Whalers. No timeouts being called. That's game, folks. 10 seconds, and this one will be final. The New Bedford Whalers finished the season with 7 wins. 7-4 their record after stomping on the Hilltoppers today on Thanksgiving morning. 40 to 6, the final score, and really it was that fourth quarter here where things just totally broke down for Durfee. New Bedford really put it to them, and it was those big plays. We talked about it. The big plays cost Durfee today.
Especially with the absence of Eli Brooks, as you've seen, everything just crumbled. They had no chance whatsoever, as if when he was in there, they scored a touchdown, they did what they could. But that was just pitiful. I mean, it's upsetting to watch.
It is. A little photo bomb there by one of your classmates, Mike Correa, who was on the team last year as well. Saw him just sneak in our shot. But yes, a tough one for Durfee. And, hats off to New Bedford. They came to play. They did their job. They took care of Eli Brooks. The defense was stellar. The offensive line was great. They did everything right today.
Well, they tried to take care of Eli Brooks. I guess you could say they took care of him at the good times, but he did have over 200 yards.
Yes, he did. For the most part, they took him out. There was those big bursts of yardage that we had, some of those big plays, and Brooks was able to get over the 2,000-yard mark for the season. So that's the one bright spot I guess you could take away from today. Reaching that milestone, that is no easy feat. That's not just something you see every season.
Right, and I mean, like I said in the beginning of the game, Andrew Rapozo, he's an athlete, 2 touchdowns, crazy amount of yards, just ran right up the middle. I mean, their offensive line was tremendous. The defensive line was tremendous. Hat off to them. They stopped a lot of runs, especially when Eli wasn't playing. Mm-hmm. They broke up all the plays, pass plays. Jaron probably was hit to the ground a good 5 times just in the second half alone.
I know, and Rapoza had left with an injury, if you recall. Those 2 touchdowns you mentioned, over 100 yards on just 2 plays, 2 dashes to the end zone for Rapoza, and one of those came after he had came out and was tended to for an injury. So nice way to bounce back for him as well. So The Whalers did it once again. They've won 9 in a row against Durfee. Maybe next year will be different. I'm starting to sound like a Red Sox fan. In any case, we want to thank our crew in the booth, in the truck rather. They did such a great job this afternoon. Mike Ferreira, our director. We had Alex Mello and Scott Cabral. Our boss, Renee Kochman, in the truck as well. Our team on the field, Phil Sabatino, Nicole Farnworth, Ian Lubet, Brandon Arrayes, and Brooke Teves. Fantastic job all around. We also had Matt Amaral and Gary Leet here helping us out as well. So big team effort for Fred TV, and we're so glad that you were here with us on Thanksgiving morning. Final score one last time, New Bedford 40, Durfee 6. From Mac Aldrich Field, for Desmond Sanders, I'm Evan Massoud. Happy Thanksgiving. Have a great day. We'll see you for winter sports real soon.